Hello, it's Merry Christmas, isn't it? Welcome
Oi, bruv.
to the Bro Four Squad podcast, where we are just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. And that British accent off the top can only mean two things. Number one, it is Christmas time, happy holidays, and we are here for another one of our world famous movie commentaries, this time on Love Actually. It's a cult classic. It's just a classic, actually. There's no debate there. This is currently streaming on Peacock. I am the mayor, Jeff Hornacek.
I was like, what? You went to law school? Congrats, man.
Quickly, in like the last 10 minutes I did. Joined by our legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli. While you get your Peacock synced up with us, we have our movies paused at the 20-second mark with the Universal Studios logo fully up on the screen. I am poor. I only make my money off this podcast, so I have $14 to my name. So I have the $5 version of Peacock where you have to watch 3 ads and then the movie starts. So if you're at home and you have to do that, here's your chance to get into the film and where we're at. While we do that, let's go around and meet the fellow bro, the aforementioned legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli. Ronnie, many stories in this movie. It's sort of, I think this actually started the trope of the like anthology rom-coms that all sort of intersect at the end. I have to ask, would you vote for Hugh Grant's character as prime minister?
Absolutely. I mean, what you don't want your head of parliament to have the gall on the first or second day of the office get like want to hook up with the help.
I just relate to that.
Yeah, like looking for him. Like he just knows what he wants and goes for it. But and I want to apologize really quickly. You just made a comment about have $14 to your name. A lot of that's because of how much money me and Rachel took from you in the settlement. So I do feel like I bear some responsibility.
I took a bath on that divorce settlement. I'm glad you and I could still be friends, even though you represented my ex-wife. And
Pretty sure we're just colleagues. I don't think you need to make
you
it more than it is.
metaphorically grabbed me by my ankles and shook me upside down till every last piece of change came out of my pockets.
It was very strange. It felt very 1930s-esque. I was like, why do you have all your money in your pocket?
I like to be liquid. Never know when the banks are going to shut down. All right. Again, we're paused at the 20-second mark. Universal Studios is fully up on the screen. 'Tis the season. Let's press play in 3, 2, 1, play. Universal's logo has gone through quite a few versions, but I do feel like when this film came out, which is what, 2004?
Yeah, I think we were in high school. We were sophomores or juniors.
It's hard to believe this is how old we are now, but the logo.
Oh no, 2003. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we were sophomores then, freshmen, I guess. Yeah. Either way, young impressionable kids. But I was going to say that Universal Studios logo was like that was. This is not a retro version of it. Like that was what it actually looked like.
That it was going to say that is aged poorly. So I'm going to make a reference to this in another early 2000s movie, Crash. You remember Crash?
Of course, yes.
Movie, and very similar in terms of many stories going on. Their lives all kind of semi-intersecting throughout. Both movies, it's funny, at the time they were really like kind of beloved, and we'll get into this as we watch this movie. They are aging quite poorly.
Like, I have not gone back to Crash since I first saw it.
Crash is horrible. I do not know how that movie won Best Movie. I love it.
Dude, you and I, that was like our auteur film that we were obsessed with in early high school.
It's one of those movies that, like, again, a high schooler would be like, wow, this is so smart because it's about race and
you
stuff.
Either like it or you don't understand it.
Yeah, and this is so... It's like, man, you really don't understand. We're all like one people. And so like this movie, while I think it's aged better than Crash, and it's still fun and funny as we'll watch. But if you really break this movie down, you're like, it's kind of strange.
Now, this is actually one of my, because of this is where the movie actually like plays with jest a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel it in my fingers.
It's absolute banger. Can we just be honest?
It slaps. Where this movie takes itself very seriously is where I think it actually kind of misses the mark. Although I will say, and maybe it's just my love for Liam Neeson, his narrative is the one that has little humor to it, but really works for me.
It does. It's one of the, we'll get into it during the storyline. Like, it's kind of interesting when you actually break down what's happening in his life and like how he meets this girl. It's I don't know.
Now
I
again,
love this movie, and
I think I
in
was just
spite of its
thinking.
flaws.
I forgot about him meeting a girl. I was just thinking about the relationship with him and his son, King. Is it King Joffrey?
Is it? Yeah, I think it is, right?
I think so. Now he's making a Christmas version of like his hit song, right? Because he's like, this is like the British version of trying to get your residency in Vegas because you're really like over the hill.
He's a big has-been, right? So kind of just depressed, wants to stay relevant, and they're like, as anyone does, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC included, as much as we love them, you release a Christmas album.
And did Bill Nighy, like, is it insulting to call him like an incredible character actor? He's probably a little bit more than that, right? He's in like every good British film. Shaun
He's
of
in
the
Harry
Dead,
Potter too.
28 Days Later, Harry Potter, Tinker Tailor Soldier
so
Spy.
much of the Harry Potter cast in this movie. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's one of those guys who's just like, if you don't know his name, you've seen him 1,000 times.
Yeah. Oh, he's in the Underworld franchise as well.
Oh, I think I've only seen that once, or the first one once.
Love any good. We need to do. I'm going to be releasing a squad blog soon with Christmas movie bingo. So, Cycly, if you have any cliches for Christmas movies, let me know now and I'll add them to it. But the graphic with the countdown till Christmas has to be on the list.
Dude, I saw. It's funny that you mentioned that because I've never seen this before. I was taking my dog for a walk and someone had one of those inflatable snowmen.
Mm-hmm.
And on the snowman, it had a countdown to Christmas, and it said Santa will visit here in 22 days.
Well, first off, as we're recording this, that person's countdown is way off.
Yeah. Well,
like,
this was a few days ago.
They're like on probation from Santa. He's like, might fucking get to you later, but
maybe they celebrate Armenian Christmas on January 6th. Okay.
Martin Freeman is in this. I just saw him on the cast list.
Morgan's brother.
It's Bilbo Baggins. Show a little respect.
Rowan Atkinson. Yeah. Yeah, his wife can get it though in this movie. I mean, she literally does get it here in a few seconds, but
I forgot in this movie how quickly they introduced the characters. I think that's kind of the important part of these ensemble pieces where it's like we got to show you everybody at first and then we'll piece it together as we go.
Yeah, this is what other I don't know which came first, this or Crash, but like for me, when we were growing up, so we were probably like 15 years old. This is definitely one of the first movies I remember being filmed in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like just kind of like massive ensemble cast. There is no main story. There's a theme, obviously.
Crash was the next year. Yeah.
Oh, Crash was the next year. Interesting.
Yeah, I would have guessed Crash is before this, so I'm glad you asked that.
So maybe Crash stole it from Love Actually. I doubt Love Actually, came up with this concept. I'm sure people can comment below on other movies, but this is one of my first memories of that kind of film.
I do believe, knowing absolutely nothing about film production, but it is one way to keep you can get the big names, and I'm going to reference my second worst movie of all time in movie 43 as a reference for this. God. But you can get a really, really incredible cast with cheaper budget when you film it this way, because the fact that they rarely have to be on set together at the same time helps, obviously, with the scheduling, which I feel like is sometimes the hardest part. There's Martin Freeman, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I forgot about this this love relationship.
This one is an interesting dynamic. Like, look, we fuck as our job, but what if we dated as our personal life?
Yeah, I mean, because it's a job, right? At the end of the day,
it's work. Yeah,
it's work. You take, you don't take it home with you, or you shouldn't.
Although the parallel, wow, Chiwetel Ejiofor is in this, and Walking Dead guy. Forgot about that. The world where Martin Freeman is a porn star is definitely a parallel universe.
Yeah, I'm not watching. If I see that, I'm not clicking on it. I know that I ever would watch porn, of course. Wait. I don't even know what porn is, to be honest.
You're trying to cover it up too hard. Chiwetel Ejiofor does not age. He looks exactly the same now as he did in 2003. Yeah.
Also, pretty sure Keira Knightley's like 19 in this.
She has to be, right?
Like, interesting I mean, she's a babe, so I don't blame them casting her. I'm just like, it's interesting. And then
that guy opening his door almost hit that motorcycle.
We got to do the take again. I mean, definitely British films. Is Hugh Grant like the rom-com guy. I mean, like,
Oh my god, dude! Notting Hill, Death at a Funeral. Like, dude, the guy fucking
wasn't
crushes.
Bridget Jones's Diary
Yes. Um, about a boy.
about a boy? Yeah, I remember.
I clicked on his IMDb and I just saw a spoiler of a movie he's in that I didn't know he was in. It came
I
out.
thought you were about to say a spoiler for this movie. I was like,
Damn it!
they fall in love. Fuck.
He falls in love with the chick who works in the White House or the Parliament.
Downing Street. Yeah, like literally he gets there and he's like, "Oh, this chick, I'm going to hook up with her." And they clearly, right, like I don't think this is a hidden fact. They clearly make her look like Monica Lewinsky, right?
Whoops.
Don't you? I mean, right, am I I don't know if I've ever read that. Like, but is that,
I
is
mean,
that
I
the same
can
vibe you get?
it doesn't feel like an accident, yeah. Although, like, Bill Clinton, had his definite fans, but they definitely make Hugh Grant seem to be like way fucking cool. He's like too
Yeah.
cool to be a politician.
Bro, Bill Clinton played the sax. Come on, man. Like
With
that's as cool as it
sunglasses
gets.
on, that's right.
With sunglasses.
Damn it, I wish I didn't see the movie Hugh Grant
What
was.
movie are you even talking
If I
about?
tell you, it's a big spoiler.
What movie? I don't even know what movie he's in.
That's the point. Yeah, it is about to come out.
You found out he was in a
Correct.
movie.
He is not advertised at all in anything I've seen.
Oh, sorry. I thought you like saw a spoiler of a movie he's
No,
gonna be
it's
in.
like about to be released.
Oh shit. Okay.
No, so don't go to his IMDb.
Yeah. So he just checked her out again. Just saying, he just got to the job, man.
Sorry
HR
for
is gonna be
looking. My
on
God, Cycly. Can you fucking
Where
arrest
is
him for having eyes?
HR?
He was actually in a HBO miniseries that came out 2 years ago called The Undoing. If you haven't seen it, you love a good whoudunit. That is a great.
Whodunit.
Yeah, 6 episodes. Nicole Kidman's in it.
Also, he just got to work. Like, where's his advisors? No one's. He just goes in the office by himself. Like, he just started.
They
Right?
know.
No, that's just me.
They know not to talk to him until he's had his coffee. One of those guys.
Also, terrible wedding suit. I mean, like.
Wait, they already get married? I thought that was like the crescendo of their arc.
No, they get married at the beginning. Remember?
So Chiwetel Ejiofor is getting married in that suit.
Yeah, not a fan. But that's the Brits, right? Like.
Yes. No fashion sense. Colin Firth also hasn't aged in 20 years.
That's true.
I don't like Keira Knightley with blonde hair. I'll just say it.
Wow. Just calling her out, man. She's a big fan of the podcast. I think we should be a little nice to her.
I think she just unsubscribed.
I mean, she was only, 2 years, 3 years removed from doubling as Natalie Portman in Star Wars.
It's true. Which apparently was a fucking nightmare for her.
Wait, really? Was
Yeah,
Natalie a bitch to her?
No, Natalie Portman was like horrific to her on
What? You're crushing my soul
I thought we
right
talked
now.
about this on Phantom Menace.
Maybe we probably did, and I didn't want to believe it, so I tucked it down somewhere really, really deep.
Yeah, apparently Natalie Portman hid her scripts so she wouldn't know where to stand. She moved the blocking.
So is Natalie Portman literally like Black Swan? Sorry.
Kind of. I think the worst thing I read was that Natalie Portman would pay the makeup team to take extra long with her to get her in trouble for being to set reporting this. Because the problem with Keira Knightley's scenes in that movie, every time she was on screen, she was in the Amidala makeup.
Yeah.
So she had 4 hours of in the makeup chair every single day.
Wow. You think you know someone? That's not going to stop. Oh my God. I haven't even put my Natalie Portman cardboard cutout out for Christmas like I do every year.
Wow. It's not even the season yet. This guy is British Tom Green that Colin Firth is talking to.
This is is this the guy she's having an affair with?
That's his brother also. I didn't realize that.
Oh, fuck. That is kind of fucked up. I'll say this happened in an extended part of my family. A brother and his wife had an affair with his sister's husband.
We'll have to get the details of that. Not details, but off pod. Do I already know the story? Is it the
no?
person?
I mean, I was a kid. You don't know them, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
You might know someone in the family, but I was that shit actually can happen.
I mean, if that happens though, your life is ruined. You'll never recover from that.
I just don't. Yeah.
Just doesn't make any sense. This guy's the worst fucking hostess ever. He has the food, but he's not offering it to anyone.
Dude, he's holding it for himself, man. He's just like really putting off.
He doesn't talk food. Like, well, what is it though? It's just food.
Could you imagine if a caterer just like tried to feed you it and then stuck in their mouth? I'd be like, yeah, no.
I would have more respect for the guy. This guy again is British Matthew Lillard. I'm just gonna make British analogous comparisons the whole time.
I think that's really what all England is. Oh, I forgot. Like she did the catering. That's why it's funny.
Slightly going back to your love for the people who write subtitles, that was a great subtext there when it said nervous laugh.
Credit to them. See, people just don't realize the hard work that goes into this. They think it's just typing.
Which definitely, it's more than that. Again, I would ask, do you want to do your job or do you want to be good at your job, you know?
Yep, exactly. By the way, I'm going to 100% agree with this guy's philosophy. There is something about traveling to a foreign land, whether it's America or anywhere, and having a semi-accent. And people just, I mean, I think the Brits especially, like, right, like we as Americans, for some reason, hear a British accent and immediately think like suave. We think, hands, like I don't absolutely no reason other than the accent, but he's onto something.
If you're British and you move to a place like the United States, where your accent again is, it's essentially foreign, not something you hear every day. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic to say, like, on the 1 to 10 scale, it probably adds a 1.5 to you.
Oh, easy. I think that's almost like going low.
Let's assume you're like average dress, average build, average face, and you're like a 6. Accent, 7.5.
Yeah. You always have to think about like.
What is he doing? Taking the temperature for tits?
No, I think it's one of those like film things where they're getting placements and stuff, right? Like, because are these Are they necessarily?
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what they are. Are they stand-ins?
Stand-ins for porn? Does he have to be like humping? I don't understand.
What if she was like, that's not required?
Total gridlock this morning. Have we met all the characters so far? I think we have, right?
Yeah.
At least focus on Bill Nighy.
Oh, well, not Alan Rickman yet, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We met Alan Rickman's secretary.
That's right.
Rickman. Yeah, rest in peace. I think seeing him is going to be.
So is Emma Thompson's character just his friend? Because I know I thought she was Hugh Grant's sister.
Oh, shit.
It's been a long time since I've seen this, though. So people are like, you fucking idiot.
Fuck. Yeah, you're right. I don't.
Someone is Hugh Grant's sister, right?
Unless they're all related. What's
the
connection? Yeah, because
he's also in Batman Begins. I think she's just his friend, or maybe she was friends with his wife a lot, or like really good friends with his wife.
I swear that's the sister, but you're definitely right. I think too, because.
Okay, hang on. She's married to Alan Rickman, but she's also Hugh Grant's sister, I think.
Yeah, but I thought she was also Liam Neeson's. But maybe you're right. Like.
But isn't she his friend, and they kind of end up like having a romantic relationship after she realized? I could be wrong. I'll have to.
No, because he goes off and meets the foreign. No, that's the other guy. Shit, I'm getting everyone confused. There's too many people to keep track of.
People at home are like, "Why are you fucking doing a commentary on the movie if you don't know it?" That's part of what we do here. Look, if you want the actual information on the movie, you get the fucking Blu-ray and you listen to that. If you want us to sit here and ruminate on it while we're half drunk,
yeah, go to Wikipedia, bro.
But also don't. I wish these camcorders would come back.
Do you feel like, and not really related to this movie, man, we used to record, like my parents and everything, because of these camcorders, recorded so much more, even though we have a camera on us all the time.
Yeah.
I just feel like you made a point. I'd bring up Zach. I'd use one of those recorders.
Laura Linney, great in this. Love when she pops up in something.
Her story's sad.
Yeah, hers is. A lot of, I would say 3/4 of them are sad in this, at least for the majority of the arcs.
But see, that's the point of love.
Right. It's either unrequited love, you get cheated on, or you're dealing with loss in this movie.
There's a friendship love. Don't forget the the musical story.
Yeah.
I always forget the thing about these movies, these type of style. I never remember anyone's name.
Right. Were you supposed to?
Too many people.
I do feel like too, regardless of how the script supervisor has it all set up, editing these things must be a bitch because that's really the key to the whole movie. Like, how do you balance out whose narrative gets like the most bandwidth in the movie while also like you can't go too long without jumping to a certain story point because people will be like, "What the fuck's happening with this guy?"
You have to work. I mean, the writing team has to really be involved. Like this is a good question for a filmmaker because I don't know this. How involved are editors with the writing team, with the directors? I mean, there's got to be overlap, but like once the movie's written, for a movie like this, I feel like the writers have to really play in the scenes and cuts and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, never been on a Hollywood set. Just read a lot of books and, have not felt the touch of a woman in a long time. But the script supervisor is like the go-between between the writers and the director because the writers, like, obviously would fucking lose their shit anytime, like, a comma was changed. And the director obviously does not, after you give him the script, he's like, this is mine now. Like, my name's going to be on it if it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So the script supervisor is like the mediator, and he's the one who I think is like on set daily. That's why for this movie, his job would be fucking miserable because there's like really 5 movies that you're trying to like intercut and put into one.
And I feel like I would imagine the starting point would be like having all 5 movies be their own story individually and then kind of pushing them together and kind of seeing how they like fold into each other.
The good idea for this would be like if you had like 5 separate scripts and you're like, none of these really have enough legs to be an interesting hour-and-a-half movie. What if we could like tangentially relate the characters and then like chop them up and put them all together?
I have to imagine that's actually how this got started.
Is this the guy from Unfaithful with Diane Lane?
Diane Lane. God, she can get it.
Oh, yeah.
Diane Lane is the definition of a MILF, man.
Get in line, bro. Jeez.
That movie.
Line starts back here.
That movie is good, actually.
Oh. Yeah. I'm trying to find his name. The other problem with this is like finding someone in the cast list on IMDb is like Alan Rickman is like 19th build. That's a fucking travesty in and of itself.
So that we got the first taste of her again because we don't know names. Getting the phone call from her. What I assume is a special needs brother or some. I mean, do we ever really find out what's wrong with him? Is it special needs or is he like kind of like has a mental disease or illness?
Yeah, I was worried he was. Yeah, mental illness is kind of what I was worried about with it. This guy's name is Rodrigo Santoro, and he is in.
He has to be the Unfaithful guy. He looked exactly like him.
When did Unfaithful
he could get it too.
Yeah, I don't see him in Unfaithful. He was on Lost.
He was on Lost for like, if that's who that is, he was on Lost for like 3 episodes, and it's one of the most divisive characters.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like, literally, you could have taken them completely out, and nothing would have changed. What was the guy's name you were looking at?
His name is Rodrigo Santoro, but the person in Unfaithful was Olivier Martinez. Yeah.
No, I called him Oliver. You're much more sophisticated than I am.
Culture
it is
yourself.
Olivier. I just was being lazy.
Well, nice.
And this is a very British bet here. Does he say if he'll run around naked if he gets number 1? Yeah.
She'll do it anyway. The birds would love it, wouldn't they?
They just talk. It's just so much better. Why don't we talk like that, man?
What would be like a comparable, like let's say like contemporary as we're recording this, it's December 2022. Him making a quote unquote comeback with this Christmas song, who would be a comparable artist like right now in the music landscape?
Well, you would say maybe someone in the early 90s, late 80s? I'm trying to think of the time frame, right? Like
would it
30
be
years
like
later?
I'm trying to think like the people that are coming to my mind, like John Bon Jovi. Like I wouldn't say he's washed up at all. He just isn't as relevant anymore. But this guy feels like he was trying to still be relevant, but he had like a failed attempt at it.
It has to be someone who's lost that sense of grace, right? Like that sense of like.
Yeah, that's true.
dropped a certain level of people's respects. Shit, I'm gonna come back to that because I think there's got to be someone who were.
Yeah, well, it'll come to us. Oh, by the way, drink, because if we were playing Christmas movie bingo, the Christmas countdown just came up again.
Oh shit.
I think this would be a nice like crossover. If I can I read you and the fans what I have currently for our Christmas movie bingo
Please.
card, and then anything you think of, I'll add to this as we go. Although my bookmarks.
Every time you see in a Christmas movie, someone lighting the rat, not the lamp.
Cycly, that's
almost
just
like all,
about this Christmas.
I don't.
The British way. Anytime a rat has a lunch bag full of jelly beans.
Where do you get the jelly beans?
Ronnie, I feel like all your contributions are only in Muppet Christmas Carol.
Is that a problem?
We go
the greatest Christmas movie ever. So
we go around the boardroom table.
He just can't. Again, first cabinet meeting, and he's just infatuated by the help bringing him some biscuits. Come on.
Great reference. Listen, let's just call it a day.
But you're great. Why is he doing his head like that?
He has to.
Yeah,
so like, what's
I
on his dick right now? Is his dick like taped down or like?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I would hope so.
All right, so I'm gonna read you. This seems like a good time to distract the viewer.
No, we're good.
I'm gonna read you. This is Christmas movie bingo, which we've done this with action movies and what was the other one? 90s movies, where we essentially take the cliches that happen in the film. And in one of our squad blogs, we link a website that generates a random bingo card for you if you input what you want in each square. And the way the game works is anytime one of the cliches happens on your bingo card, you take a drink. Anytime it forms X number of squares in a row, you take that many drinks. And then when you get bingo, you chug your drink and you get to pick the next movie for you and your friends to watch. So again,
but you have to yell bingo.
Right. Well, that's that's in the Geneva Convention. So
it's true.
All right, here are a few of these Christmas cliches as British Matthew Lillard is riding in the car. This is in no particular order. I put this list together over a few weeks. The first one is a relative shows up unannounced or quote unquote the last person on earth our protagonist would want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Arrives for Christmas. Our main character has something inevitably go wrong with their perfect gift.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you got to get your wife something or your kid, and I don't know, the last one gets bought or some crazy shit happens. Oh, you'll love this one, Cycly. Someone returns to their hometown they hate visiting.
Oh, love to see it. So relatable. I don't know if you feel that way. I don't know. I know you don't go to our own hometown as much, but now that like we're both away from our hometown, every time I go back now, I'm kind of like, who am I gonna see? What is this gonna be like?
I get it. I think like because we come from like we don't come from a big town, but I think the big issue around that is like when you had number one, bad high school memories, which I don't want to speak for you, but I don't think we had. And number two, where it's like no one from your town really moved out. Which I don't think that happened to us really either. I mean, of course, some people stayed.
A decent amount stayed, but yeah.
Right, but it's not.
I was one of them until a year and a half ago.
Yeah, but yours was a little bit different. It wasn't like you were like working at the local, Quick Trip, and every time we came and be like, yeah.
Just gave away where we're from.
Shit.
That's right. Bucky's.
So are they friends here? Because I'm definitely getting like she's consoling him after the loss, and it's not. It's platonic.
That's what I'm saying. Like I thought. I could be completely wrong. I think I always thought they were related.
Maybe they are. Maybe cousins or something. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, it could go either way.
Next Christmas cliche: a horrible experience setting up Christmas decorations.
Oh, that's a good one.
The tree catches on fire. You fall while you're doing the lights.
Wrong.
Yeah. A high-strung, overworked character with no time for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That's first 10 minutes of like half the Christmas movie.
Almost every movie, yeah.
A single parent who just wants to make Christmas perfect for their child.
Yeah. These are
Like
all
you're
good. I feel like you could really get through some of these.
adult character who doesn't believe in magic or some shit that a kid is insisting is actually happening.
Oh, well, Elf has like half of these.
Right. The Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I only have three more. Some crazy issue with trying to travel somewhere, like, oh, the flights are
Oh
delayed,
yeah.
or
Uh-huh.
some shit like that. It starts snowing at the perfect moment.
Oh yeah. Shit, that's almost all of them.
And then the last one before I added the Christmas countdown popping up on screen would be carolers show up at the worst time.
How's it go? So how many more do you need?
I mean, the more we can get, because the bingo cards, like you randomize them, so like everyone's in theory would look totally different.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So as you think of them, let me know and we'll add them.
We need at
People,
least 24, right?
sure. And people at home, comment below. I'm sure there's somewhere missing.
I always found this dynamic interesting. Like his mom just died, his wife just died. I don't. They seem okay. You know, he's clearly obsessed with this crush. Like, I mean, are we under the interpretation that like the mom just had a slow, grueling death? So like, you know, they're both like, oh, she's not in pain anymore. So like,
Yeah, I will say this, and I don't have anything to base this on except it's a vibe that I'm getting. I don't think it was like some unexpected accident out of nowhere.
yeah,
Like
they shouldn't be laughing this much a week after
correct.
their mom and
They
wife
seem,
died.
I don't want to say prepared for grieving here, but it almost feels like they've emotionally sort of been kind of prepping the runway for this to happen.
Yeah, yeah, they don't really. We never know, right? I just
And
always
he
remember
said,
thinking that.
like Joffrey's like, I'm ready to rule Westeros emotionally. And he says, I'm ready to ask, where's my daughter?
He's always prepping for that.
Mhm.
Where's my wife? I can't do the accent like you
Where's my daughter?
can.
So Laura Linney is interested in who? There's some other guy we haven't seen yet.
The guy who looked like the guy from Love Actually in The Office.
Oh, Rodrigo, that's right.
But
And what,
isn't he French or something? Or is he?
well,
But yeah, like she's just, you know.
does he turn out to be like gay?
No, I don't think so. I think he's really understanding. They get it on at one point, right? And then she like feel. I mean, again,
What do they do that he needs like blueprints?
architecture.
He's Carl. I mean, come on, dude.
Maybe he's not French. Maybe I just assume that
Carl
just
with a
because of
K
how
though,
he looks.
like Carl Malone.
The mailman. Speaking of, I did not know. Sorry, we're getting really off base here, but Carl Malone is a really shit human being.
Oh my God, he's a piece of
I
shit.
did not know some of that.
Yeah,
shit
he's
when I
like
was a
scum
kid.
of the earth.
Fuck. All right, we'll go back to Love Actually. Just like yeah. Holy
God
shit! If
damn
you
it,
want
was mid-range jump shot deadly.
to feel like Wikipediaing Carl Malone, have at it.
This
This
is
is
giving
what I need, man.
I forgot about his arc. This is definitely sort of like maybe what The Holiday was inspired by with Cameron Diaz and Jude Law.
I mean, this happens again. Like, I'm an emotional person. I know that. Like, if my wife died, like Liam Neeson, or this character, like his wife was cheating on him, right? Like,
With his brother.
with his
That's the
brother,
worst
I
part.
feel
You
like
lose a brother and a wife.
I'd be a lot more emotional of a wreck.
I don't know. What if I got you a typewriter in a reclusive log cabin? You don't think you'd be okay then?
Yeah, you know, maybe. You know, if you want to try it,
What would you write on that typewriter?
I'll work and no play.
It's like this just
Cycling
says
a dull
penis
boy.
a million times. Yeah, it's my memoir. We
Yeah,
can't publish
it's
it.
beautiful.
It's too derivative.
My editor loved it.
You only made a few slight changes. What was the first change? Burn it?
You know, he's not bashful about his intentions here, right? Like he is very much about this. Like in his head, he's not like, "Hey man, I'm the prime minister. This is the help."
Yeah.
Like, let me ease into this.
His approach is, look, we get that it's subtext. Everyone knows the power position I'm in. So all I'm going to do to you is let you know that the dick is on the table, and then the ball is essentially in your court, but it's also really not.
But also, my balls are in your court.
Correct. Oh, sorry. Did you think that was a metaphor? No, I meant
Yeah.
like literally.
Literally. This is kind of funny to me too, because I remember being young and the whole Monica Lewinsky thing happened, and I remember the press called her fat, and like she makes a comment about being fat here, and I was like, are they really fat? Like, I just remember being like confused. I
Yeah,
was like, what are we
they're
talking
not.
about here?
Also, the folder she had looked like the menu in the N64 game GoldenEye, where you
Oh
could
my God.
look at that.
Well, it is. I mean,
Do
this
you
is
want to play
British
archives or
government.
the stacks?
Fuck, Archives is always one of my
It's like, I'm sorry,
favorites.
babe. I have to point out the folder you're holding. It looks like the menu to the N64 game GoldenEye.
Well,
I mean, I
it
have to.
was. He's like, oh, that reminds me. I need to schedule my meeting with MI5, MI6.
Have you seen? It's like a. I don't know if you sent it to me or if I sent it to you, but there's some guy. I'm not on TikTok, but I see a lot of them on Reddit. Some guy made a TikTok about like how fucking hard the banger track
Dude, yes.
GoldenEye menu page
It
is.
goes so hard. It fucking bangs, man. Like, I need
He-
like.
The TikTok is like the producer at Midway telling the like score supervisor, like, bro, you gotta fucking tone it down. People aren't gonna play the game if they hear this.
I need like an EDM remix of that.
Dude, for real. I don't know if you remember, again, getting way off track, but that's why people listen to this podcast. On the FIFA 2003 load menu on PlayStation 2, there is a techno remix to Complicated by Avril Lavigne that is the biggest
Oh my
fucking
God.
headbanger I've ever heard in my life.
Now I know what I'm looking up after this.
This is the one with Landon Donovan on the cover.
Shit. Yeah,
Like,
I need to look that up.
I'm Landon Donovan, and I'm only referring to his hairline when I say that.
Ugh. My wife was like, he like watching the World Cup going on right now. She's like, he just needs to either shave it or buy plugs. Like,
I would shave it.
pick one. Yeah, just
Especially
own
next to
it.
Dempsey, who has like the hairline of a Greek goddess. It's like,
Yeah, it's like, just own it, man.
and Lawless has the reverse. It's like the hairline is good, but it's just thinned out so much now, and he's like
He's aged.
a
Yeah.
lot. Especially because, dude, when he played, he was known for his hair. He looked like who's
Oh.
the fucking guy from The Simpsons with like the long.
Oh, Willie.
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about? Yeah. By the way, really quickly, if people aren't been paying attention because we were talking about GoldenEye, it's coming out on Xbox and Switch remastered, and they're gonna have all the multiplayer cross. Like you and I could play together on 2 different platforms. I'm pretty
Jesus
sure.
Christ. Now, when you say
So-
remastered, I don't want you to update the graphics.
I'm pretty sure they are. They're
God
updating the
damn
whole
it.
game to be modern. Yeah,
That's not what I
but we'll see.
By the way, we need to try to play the N64 online together on the Switch because I think I play that more than any actual Switch games. That's why when my
Because you can't. It's the goat.
I know I got my renewal email, it's like $50 for the year. I was like, bro, I'm not even gonna fucking blink.
It's
Trust that.
so much cheaper than the other like Xbox ones too. But yeah, and then that they're every year is gonna be a little more.
Drink 3 weeks till Christmas.
Oh yeah, look at those nips. Oh, but
So he's a photographer or like a is that what videographer? Or is he
yeah,
just-
right.
yeah.
So photographer and videographer, and this whole storyline is funny to me too. Like, if you really break it down, it's kind of fucked up, right? Like, imagine at your wedding as your best friend and best man, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna take photos," and then you get all of them back, and it's just of your wife. Like,
I mean, I understand that
little-
he's like in love with her, but like what did you think was gonna happen? You don't have the willpower to like for like
That's
this
a little
2.5 hour
unhealthy.
event. 100%.
right? Like, it's one of those things they always say, right? Like, and as a kid, you don't really get it, like, because we've always been watching rom-coms. The line between romantic and stalker is so
It's
thin
razor thin, dude.
based on how you
And it's
feel
all
about that person.
perspective based, really. Yeah.
Yeah, like she likes him, okay. She thinks he's a friend and sweet, okay. If that was anyone else, she'd be like, "What the fuck? Get away from me! This is really fucked up. This is messed up."
Did she get Pirates in 04? Is that the first one?
Who Kieran Knightley's like breakout role?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this was like the first. I mean, again, from
No,
what I
dude,
remember-
03, same year.
Oh wow, good for
That's
big year for
wild.
her.
I felt
Good
like
for her,
Pirates.
man. I didn't know this shit about Natalie Portman. That makes me sad.
Yeah, it's pretty rough if you go read about it. And I want to say they made up very, very recently. Like it took way longer than it should have.
That really feels like someone with Natalie's like pedigree and fame needs to be like, hey, yeah, that like I messed up.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to make a comment that's going to sound misogynistic, but I don't think this girl is attractive. I think she's
No.
attractive to Alan Rickman because she's not his wife and he's in a position of power over her.
Yeah, 100%.
She could
How
be
I Met
like
Your
a
Mother
ficus or a cactus.
Has the walrus
Mermaid
or
theory?
mermaid theory.
Mermaid
yeah, like
theory,
if you spend enough time with someone, But 100%, that's all it is. I mean, that's the thing they always talk about too. Like when you see these men who are with fucking supermodels, and then you find out they cheated on them with, and the person they cheated on with is always like
Adam Levine, right?
nowhere close. Yeah,
He's like
and you're
literally
just like,
dating Miss Universe, and he's like
yeah.
messaging on Instagram other chicks. It's like,
And at the end of the day, it's like it's a power dynamic. It has nothing to do with like looks. It's just like, dude, I mean, this storyline is also really kind of fucked up if you break it down.
yeah, really, it's really shallow, and it happens way too late into the movie for like, where are we at right now?
I mean,
We're 40 minutes into this thing.
Again, his wife just cheated on him with his brother. What emotional state is he in?
Correct. Well, that's why it feels like really, maybe predatory is the wrong word, but it's just too advantageous for him to, like, he's gonna dump this chick the second that the fucking seasons change.
Is it? I mean, if it was one thing, if they'd be like, oh, 6 months later, but they've been quite clear, as you've mentioned, about the timeline.
Also, he's gonna act surprised she's there. Did you know he fucking requested, hey, bring me like a late 20s something chick who doesn't
speak
really
English.
Correct, and leave her alone with me for like 3 days. I'll act awkward at first. That'll lull her into a false sense of security, and then I make my move. Then one night I'm making tea, and oh, mom's your uncle.
And isn't it like I could be wrong? I mean, we'll get into this later in the movie, but I'm pretty sure at one point, like, he's talking to her dad, asking for her hand in marriage, and the dad's like,
"Who are you?"
He's trying to buy her. No, he's like willing to sell the daughter.
Look, if the price is right, Cycly.
In this economy,
we'll listen. As a good general manager of any pro sports team says, we'll listen on anyone.
Look, it's bad business if you don't.
Right. Not saying we're going to make the deal, but like, who am I to hang up the phone if you have an offer to make?
Do you remember you and I have a similar story? Not similar, nowhere, no romance, but when we were in Germany with Uncle Josef, who we have no relation to, he spoke no English. We spoke essentially no German. And somehow...
Wow. Sorry, totally forgot Billy Bob Thornton was in that.
He's the president of the United States.
God, we'd be so lucky. I'm sorry, continue.
Oh, I was just saying about like being stuck in a room with someone who does not speak remotely any of your language.
But remember, I was pretty convinced that if I just talked louder and slower, he would now understand English.
Yeah, and he did, and it did not work. He gave us porn, though, so that was and Jägermeister, which now I think back on it is kind of weird.
I mean, weird, but with the curve that I grade Uncle Joseph on, I say it's slightly out.
I found out, really, if I was like, hey, man, you're hanging out with this guy named Uncle Joseph, and he gives you porn and Jägermeister, and you're 18 years old, it's a little weird. Sometimes you look back on moments in your life, you're like, was there more to that?
Yeah, it's like when you're in the trenches, you don't realize anything weird about it, and then it's one of those things where it's like on the ride home a few hours later, one person turns to the other and goes, you know, that was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, right? That was, yep, yeah. Granted, I mean, I appreciate the Jaeger and the porn. I do love that what Billy Bob Thornton is a completely sleazebag, like just shitty. They really come after the Americans in this movie.
I mean, they have to.
I mean, look at him. I'd vote for him. But, I mean, how could you, like, again, Hugh Grant being all like so suave and perfect, and my God, of course the British
Billy
are the
Bob,
good guys.
It never looks younger. There's just like less of his neck. That's like the only thing that differentiates him in years.
Wasn't Billy Bob Thornton around this time anyway kind of a controversial? He kind of redeemed himself over time.
What did he do wrong again? Was Tim
remember.
and Angelina just like a fucking weird couple? Is that what
that was really weird too? But like, just like kind of Robert Downey Jr. kind of had to redeem himself long term. Like, see, I think
this guy works fucking fast.
I also think like that was a power move, right? Like, not just on her, of course, because he's the president of the United States, feels like he can do whatever, but like showing up the prime minister of Britain. You know,
yeah, like, I'm gonna literally grope your secretary. The second you turn your head, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and what are you gonna do about it? What are you going to do about it, Hugh Grant? I love this scene too because it's so completely unrealistic and anything that would ever happen in politics. Could you imagine if something like this did happen, where like an American sitting president is next to the head of state, and they're like, you know what, fuck this guy, this really sucked.
Yeah, they just call him out in the press conference.
Yeah.
That guy looks like William Goh, who played Alfred in like all the Tim Burton Batmans. You just saw him for a second. He's gone now.
Oh, there.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's like, he really tried to hook up with my secretary, and that was weird.
Like, what's the flashback in How I Met Your Mother? At Ted's wedding, he goes, "I had dibs," and his wife goes, "You have to know, I had no idea."
David Beckham's left foot.
Is he left-footed? I didn't know that.
It's just so funny, like, and a friend that bullies is no longer our friend, like
okay,
like,
I get you tried to fuck my secretary, but like we're gonna like break an alliance between our countries because of that.
Everyone in the world's like, did the British and Americans just publicly break up, and everyone is happy about it? This would be, you know, how much this would get torn apart in the British press, like.
Yeah, I know when our political leader is like speechless.
Yeah. Oh man, he said Harry Potter and the Beatles. Shit.
Great Britain waits about 250 years to call rematch on the Revolutionary War.
And I love the fact that he's like, we're a small country. Like, dude, you're literally one of those powerful countries in the world. What are you? You're not.
I'm sorry. Do you think you're Wales?
It's like when the team that's been ranked #1 the whole season is like, nobody believed in us.
Of the Michigan underdog story.
You're like,
no, we were ranked second to start the year and only picked to finish first in our conference by 39 of 41 writers.
No one thought we'd be here. Like, literally, everyone thought you'd be here.
Yeah, dude, like, there's a lot of other ways to motivate yourself. Pretending that people doubted you is just like not a good look.
Man, I still can't believe Alan Rickman's not.
Me either, dude. And it's like every year that goes by, I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I miss him.
It's just so, yeah, like, he's just one of those actors, like, it's irreplaceable. Like, he just.
Well, I can remember as a kid, like, this was the first time in any movie that I remember thinking, dude, this villain is the coolest fucking part of it. Because before that, I saw the film I'm about to reference, I'd always been scared of the villains. And that was him as the Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh, I thought you were, okay, yeah, that's good.
I remember as even a kid being like, dude, the villain is the best part of this thing. And I watched that movie, you can ask my mom, probably like once a month.
I will ask your mom, actually.
She'll verify it.
Sure. Actually,
Christian Slater as Little John.
No, I loved him before Harry Potter. I mean, again, we're one of those generations that like really got to know him later in his career, but like, when you go back and look at some of the stuff he did, like.
Well, I didn't even like. As a kid, at least, I missed Die Hard. Like, we were like a few years after that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't even know him as what's his character's name in that? Hans Gruber.
Oh yeah, this is such a.
We just broke the fourth wall.
Oh yeah, he waited half a second there.
Dude, why you would ever want to be a politician, I don't get.
Drink.
Most people hate you. Oh shit, I gotta refill my drink actually.
Most people hate you, but it's the power, Drew.
Wow, he didn't like the cooking. Yeah, but to me, more than even that, like I guess I could deal with people hating me. That's kind of been the story of my life. It would be the work schedule. Like, when are you off? and the second you take off, you get fucking shit on.
Just want to go golf, you know?
Can we keep one coffee mug here, buddy? Like, there's no reason one dude should have 7 of these.
No, that's my. Oh my god, why does he have that many? Is she
2 cup of coffee? Gotta get a new mug.
Maybe one's black, one has like less cream or more creamer, like, since she can't understand him.
I gotta say, the biggest travesty in this whole movie, instead of saying oops, according to the subtitles, he said oop.
Oop. Well, you know, you've never been in a situation where you're with someone who has an accent and you just kind of like change your voice for absolutely no reason.
I thought there he was trying to imply like I didn't make a big mistake. I
Oop.
just made one oop. Oh, that's a
Oop.
big mistake.
You know, I'm gonna start doing that. I only do the oops for multiple. It's just half the book.
Yep, this is the problem with not having anything digital.
What do you? What does she think she's gonna? Oh, it's so she gets naked, and
Yep.
that's where he finds his attraction to her.
He's
I
like, it's
get
all
it.
just raw. Actually, you know what? Maybe
Oh, you know what? No,
if you
yeah.
grab a few pages, whatever you get, I can probably connect the dots
What if
between
in
the
the
two.
background he's throwing more of the pages in the water? He's
Oh
like, oh
shit!
no, it's
This
still
wind is just
happening.
it's violent and it's unforgiving, is what I'll say.
At that point, she's really needs to be like, what does she think she's going to accomplish here?
Look, if you're ever in a situation where you have to take off a turtleneck sweatshirt to get in the water, it's probably not. Something isn't adding up here.
I mean, that's how I train for the Olympics.
Yeah, and we've all been meaning to talk to you about that. Actually, we
It's
don't think
going to work out.
I don't think it's going to happen, man. This is 14 straight Olympics.
Look, there's 2 more years. I got 2
60.
more years till Paris.
All right, this
Actually, wait,
last
no,
one. Can't
year
watch
and a
this
half.
body through this.
Right, Paris is the next one, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't pay attention to the Olympics anymore.
I love the respect for the eels here.
Yeah, man. Like, maybe throwing the eels in your Christmas bingo.
I definitely will add them. Don't disturb the eels is referenced.
Fuck. It's any movie. She is a babe, though. I mean, I will give her that.
One I just thought of, totally unrelated to this. Some local annual Christmas event is attended.
Mm-hmm.
Could be like a play, a festival, some like tree lighting ceremony.
Yeah, something goes down at it for sure.
Right.
Did you say, like, have you done, like, and maybe you did already and I forgot about it, like some misinterpretation occurs? Not necessarily in language, but like intent is construed the wrong way, or
Can you give me a more Christmas specific example?
well, I'm trying to. Well, this happened right here in front of us currently, so that's why it's in my head. But I just feel like there's always something where, like,
And it's maybe not language barrier related.
oh wait, that always like happens, like, oh, I can explain, and they're never given the opportunity to explain. Like, how many times in movies or maybe not necessarily Christmas movies?
I was gonna say I put miscommunication leads to a Christmas mishap.
Yes. Yeah,
like
that's
I
what I
thought
feel
you
like.
were gonna get the gift. What? No, I thought you
Yeah.
were gonna get it.
Yeah. But I just always feel like it's always funny to me when something bad happens. Like, no way, I can explain, and never in a movie does the person go, okay. Yeah,
I mean,
explain.
there are so many times in really every movie, not just Christmas films. But like, if two people just had a fucking 30-second conversation, this whole movie wouldn't happen.
That might be more of a rom-com than Christmas movie thing.
The overlap, like if you did the Venn diagram, though, a lot of these Christmas movies, like there's a I mean, every Hallmark movie, which is definitely like the blueprint for a lot of these, but there's a romantic element to, I'd say 75% of these Christmas films.
They have to be. Because what's Christmas without romance? That's the way. I mean, I've read the Bible.
Yeah, you bring that up a lot.
Yeah, it's all about romance. It's kind of hot.
About time we got Bill Nye again. I mean, he's sparingly used in this movie, but he's like the pinch hitter who, like, dude, the dude fucking hits a double every time. Why don't we get him more bats?
You know how I referenced earlier in this pod where I was like, "Oh, this movie isn't aging as well as it." Like, he is my favorite story in it. Like, that whole storyline. Not this one.
What is
this? Is a very fucked up one.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's a horrible hat, like Keira Knightley still pulls it off.
100%. This is like an Olsen Twins 1997 vibe, fashion sense to it.
What was that movie? Manhattan Minute?
New York Minute?
Oh, New York Minute. Nice.
Lucky guess.
I know. Did I get it right? Oh, wow.
I'll have a poke around it tonight. Are those air filters or paintings that he has? I hope they're paintings.
I think photos and paintings, yeah.
I collect air filters. That's an odd... I guess everyone has their thing, but okay.
Oh, but stamps are cool, though. It's so what did he think was going to happen here? He could hold off the wedding photos?
Yeah, also, I'll just say in general, and I know he probably hasn't thought this through is the point, but it's a very juvenile approach, very juvenile, when it's like, I like you, so I'm going to be icky and rude to you.
Yeah, what are we? Yeah,
Like,
5.
just fucking be, if anything, just be normal. Like, that's what, like, literally kindergartners do. The person they don't like is the one they pull their hair and, like, tease.
I just don't get his motivation here. I think that's what's kind of messed up to me is like, okay, he's in love with her, and so he feels like he can't talk to her. But like he knows during I mean, like what did he think was gonna happen? His best friend hired him. It's really like during the wedding he can't put even for 5 minutes
Right, that's what I'm
his
saying. But if you get past the fact of how fucking unprofessional it is, like I guarantee you he cashed the check that he got paid to film this thing. It's just like really not very introspective. Like he's not very self-aware if he's only fucking filming her. I'm surprised he's
yeah.
not like getting like ass shots and stuff.
It would be really funny if actually like she's just so self-absorbed she doesn't even realize like she's the only one in it. She's like, oh my god, this is exactly what I wanted.
It's
3 hours
great.
later.
A little bit too much of other people, but yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I wish you had
Got
focused
my
on me more.
Did you have to focus on my husband's nose that much?
But what is he acting like dread? Like, what did he think was going to happen? They were never going to come calling for the photos.
What does he do with this? Like I hate to even ask the question. Does he masturbate to this or is
And
it more like he
what I
like
love is,
fawns over it?
yeah, and this is clearly edited, right? Like, this is not like all one continuous shot of
That's a
the
great
wedding.
point. Yeah.
He just edited her like licking her lip, like, and now, like, so he took the time. This is a lot of work,
I
right? Like,
mean,
he
the
took
dude
the
is a
time.
total cuck though. That like he still finds this appealing even though she's literally marrying another man. Forget about the fact it's his best friend in the
Yeah.
video.
It's, again, it goes back to my line of being like, dude, if it was anyone else, she would be filing like a lawsuit against them.
I would just feel so creeped out. It's voyeuristic, really.
What if she turned around and she was like, yeah, that was good, but it was that whole video lasted about 2 minutes and the wedding was 6 hours. So where's the rest?
Yeah,
She's
like
like, wait,
you missed all the speeches. He's like,
yeah, we jumped from the ceremony to 2 minutes or to like 10 seconds at the at the
what
reception,
if
and
she
now
got
I'm
like
up on the
really
boat.
critical of the video skill? She's like, if I'm being honest, like the palette that you use, like the colored lens, a little bit off. First off,
like like really though, think about that video lasted 2 minutes. I mean, the way they're showing it made it seem like she watched the entire thing.
can I give you like a really weird nostalgic point that I don't really think I miss, but it just kind of reminds me of a simpler time? The fucking like snow fog screen that it just went to at the end of the video.
Yes.
We never see that anymore because everything is just the
No.
blue input screen.
I
You and
would
I
always
grew up
remember
with that.
waking up to that.
Yeah. As the HBO leaked porn we were trying
Oh
to
god.
watch from the night before faded out.
Oh yeah, I would have to change a channel. I would have to wake up because I'd have to change a channel off of. It was 14 when I was a kid. HBO was 14 on
Yep.
cable, and I knew if like my dad turned on the TV after it
And
could
saw
not
what it was on
watch it.
last. Did you fuck up the thing I did too where I had Titanic? You remember it was obviously two
Oh yeah.
VHSs. I think it was the end of the first VHS that was
Oh
Kate
yeah.
Winslet taking her shirt off.
100%.
And I would always forget to fucking like rewind it or fast forward it from.
I made a point to always like rewind or fast forward. Like every time I had to tell myself, gotta move. gotta move.
Honestly, dude, we'll be like 80 years old, and I will even tell my grandkids that they're like, Kate Winslet, dude. Was she the hottest chick? Definitely not, but she was
No,
very pretty. But more importantly, she was the first.
she was our
So,
first, man.
yeah,
Our first real, just always
the
be.
first
You'll
one that
never forget your first.
it meant something. Yeah.
Still does.
The one thing that really is like the key aesthetic to the early aughts fashion, which by the way, this reminds me, we haven't seen British Matthew Lillard in a very long time. It was the too long sleeves.
Yeah, but
Like
it's coming
everyone's
back,
sleeve.
man.
It is.
It's all the early knots are coming back. Aughts are coming back.
Just the bagginess was something I never thought would.
Bagginess is coming back.
That's gross.
Someone made a point on Reddit about it because like they were talking about the newest fashions. They always, can tell what's coming the next year in the fashion shows, and it's all early aught stuff. And someone on Reddit made a comment. It was funny that was like, The reason fashion is cyclical every 20, 30 years is because that generation, when they first start having kids, puts them in the clothes that they used to wear. And so like it was kind of funny. I was like, I don't know if that's actually true, but it's kind of funny to think about that. Like that's what we wore at that time, so we're gonna make our kids wear it. When our kids are
Yeah.
13, that's what we're gonna be buying our kids when they're 13.
There is a weird phenomenon that I like really want to dig into, and if there's more data around it, I would be so interested. But like, if you think about every trend, but specifically fashion, someone has to be the person that just continuously wears it, even though at the time it's not fashionable yet, right?
Right.
Like someone has to keep dressing in a way that no one else is until it starts to catch on.
Man, it's like dude, how I wore in high school with fucking cargo shorts, and I would never, ever, ever put cargo shorts on again in my life. They're back.
Are you afraid that you'd get too much pussy?
Yes, as a married man, I'm
It'd
like,
be
I
bad
gotta.
for my marriage and my
It'd
health.
be terrible. But I was just like laughing about it. I was like, there's no way in hell. I went to Gap like a couple months ago or weeks ago, and I was like, holy shit, they didn't have any normal shorts. It
And
was
I
all
will say this,
cargo.
it's crazy how quick it's the Caesar theory, right? You live long enough to see yourself,
Yeah.
you're the hero, you live long enough to see yourself, you die a villain. The cargo shorts went from like, fuck, that's cool, to like, you would be beaten with a stick if you were seen in a
Dude,
public setting with that shit on.
100%. And that's why I'm like, no, you can't bring that shit back.
No, and that's something I don't think will ever come back.
Don't go to Gap, man.
Wow, talk about coming full circle. How much did they have to pay James Cameron to put in a clip of Titanic?
Well, it funded Avatar, the first one. So
This is a bit odd for a father and son to be reenacting, even if he like plays it as a joke.
I always love when, even though this scenario doesn't actually work, but like when someone's watching something of pop culture in a movie, that means it's part of that universe. So like,
there's a whole Marvel thing about this in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Kevin Bacon plays himself, and he also plays a character in X-Men First Class.
it doesn't make sense.
Right, it's gonna come in through the multiverse, and they're like, "So what the fuck's going on?"
There's like in Friends, I'm pretty sure Jennifer Aniston's character Rachel like dates Bruce Willis, but
like
in one of the
Bruce
Friends,
Willis?
yeah,
Oh.
actual, well, no, at Bruce Willis, like whatever
Got
character
it.
he was playing. But in another episode, of course, completely unrelated, they're all watching Die Hard. And so, like, at some point, no one's like, hey, that guy looks exactly like the guy you dated.
Well, another weird, and actually Ocean's 12 does a really funny bit with this with Julia Roberts' character and Julia Roberts. If you remember, they pull off a heist. They pull off a heist at the end where they tell Julia Roberts' character Tess that she has to impersonate Julia Roberts.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's just getting really meta.
But in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, there's a scene on the ship. This isn't a spoiler, but Drax and Kevin Bacon have a conversation about Bruce Wayne and Batman, and I'm like, wait, so he's a fictitious superhero in this world where like, I understand he's DC, but like Iron Man exists and all these other people.
Yeah. So what I like as a Batman fan, I would be like, yeah, even in the Marvel universe, they'll still like think like Batman would be really cool. They're like, oh, this guy doesn't exist, but that would be badass.
And it is funny because Drax shits on Kevin Bacon. He's like, actors are the stupidest people there are. And obviously super meta, like obviously Dave Bautista is an actor.
Oh, I love that. The Simpsons are always good about like The Simpsons always makes fun of writers for movies and TV shows. And it's always, because the writers are just mocking themselves. But
of course,
I always like make fun of meta humor.
All right, can you lock this down for like 90 seconds?
I'll try. I mean, this is
the whole thing's gonna fall apart. The pot will crash and burn. We'll be bankrupt.
Probably. I'm just saying this is a good moment to do it, by considering a couple that's never spoken a word together.
And that looks like a prison yard soccer game happening behind her.
Have you ever been to Portugal? That's all it is.
One giant prison where they play soccer.
This is why Ronaldo became so good. He was never allowed to do anything else but stay in a cage. And
in order to basically expedite your sentence, they set up several set pieces, and if you can execute them properly, you get out.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ronaldo, he should have stuck to that training because it has not gone well for him. Hey-ho.
Boom roasted.
But yeah, you go do your thing. I believe in you. Yeah, that's why I don't drive in foreign countries here. Yeah, they got to get the titty shot. Now, I do appreciate that he doesn't hide the purpose of this. Just going all, oh my God, going all out on this, the reason for Christmas, right? This whole scene is the reason for the season. Kind of don't mind showing it in front of the kids, but this is, this is European. It's British. They are a little more lax with the things they show on TV. While as we show more violence, they show more sex. You pick your battle. They might have it better than we do. Ooh, they do mention Meatloaf, who I believe rest in peace, but that could be a reference actually to who they could be talking about in terms of who was a star, an aging star who's really lost their fame and would try to make a comeback and unlike this movie really didn't. Is this actually Joffrey? I don't. That's an interesting one. I need to look that up. Horns has said that's Joffrey, but doesn't look exactly like him. So we got London in Christmas time. I think I'm a white lights person. My wife is much more of a colored bulbs. Oh, hello.
We've all been to this party.
I do love the butts. Those are some healthy butts. I'm as straight as it comes, but man, I appreciate a healthy butt.
Yeah, I mean, looking ain't hurt nobody. I mean, dressing as a devil is the international sign for put it in my butt, basically.
Oh shit, really? I've been dressing like a devil for years.
Don't act like you didn't make that connection.
But no.
This is like this is like the loosely connected. All right, we can put these two characters at a party together. They don't even need to interact. People will get that this is all happening in the same universe.
I just noticed that there was a butt behind. If they go back to the wife here, Emma Thompson, again, because I don't know anyone's actual movie names. There, like, there's a lot of butts. It was like looked like a can't. I just don't understand the butt theme. Because what are they? You're right. Because we thought they were architects. You saw the blueprints. See, look at that. There's a
They're
camel on top of a butt.
businessy businessmen. If you're gonna dance with the slutty devil with your wife at the party, like, bro, in this last season of White Lotus, no spoilers, but there's a theme in it where it's like if you're gonna cheat on your wife, at least have the respect to like try and not get caught, you know?
Doesn't one of them say like just that's why you stick with whores
Exactly.
or prostitutes?
First off, anyone who sits like this in an interview, immediate respect. Like you might as well stick your hand in your pants.
Dude, yeah, while you were gone, they were filming the music video, and it was very just. He just wants to do what he wants to do. The girls were showing it all.
Leave something for the imagination.
He wasn't. They don't ever reference like he was part of a group or anything, right? Like he was just a solo artist.
Yes, I believe so. Although it's funny, Hugh Grant is in a movie with Drew Barrymore called Music and Lyrics, where he plays a former British boy band pop star who's like trying to make a solo career, who's not too dissimilar from Bill Nighy's character. Although, spoiler alert for Music and Lyrics, he actually gets reformed throughout the movie.
Oh, that's nice. It's like a Christmas Carol.
Yeah, he finds love in the most unexpected place.
So okay, so Emma Thompson there is just being a cool boss's wife. Right,
Yeah, she's like she's like John Stockton. She's like, I don't care if I score tonight. I'm just trying to set you guys up. Of course, it's in between songs. God, what a
I like that you went with John Stockton instead of yourself.
Jeff Hornacek was more of like the catch and shoot, you know?
Yeah, but too bad he couldn't hit that shot, that 3-pointer in Game 6. Am I right?
Let me just say that
Too
if your
soon.
NBA Finals win depends on Jeff Hornacek hitting a shot, you've already failed.
Dude, stop talking about yourself like that.
Greg Ostertag should have fucking done something. Jesus. Put all the pressure on me.
Where's HR in all of this, man? Does HR not exist?
Look, Cycle, we all know HR takes one night off a year. It's the Christmas party. Am I right? Who polices the police?
That is for sure.
I didn't see anything. What does Michael Scott say? I want people making out in the break room.
I actually just watched that episode earlier today.
Is this enough to get 14 people drunk? 16 liters of vodka?
Yeah,
I think that should do it.
My wife is sick, and so we were just putting on Christmas episodes of The Office, and yeah, that one's a good one, the Benihana one. No, that's the year before the Benihana. That's season 2.
Oh yeah, dude, one of the best lines ever in that show, and that's saying something. When Andy is playing the sitar, and Jim goes, "Do you take requests?" Of course. Please stop. There's a place in France where the naked ladies dance.
This is I don't know. We haven't gotten to it yet here in a few seconds, but I don't know if I'm ever in this moment. Phone's got to go onto the silent mode.
You know, I would say that, but I don't get any phone calls that aren't spam.
Yeah,
like the last time I got a phone call, like the odds of me getting a phone call that I'm like really not expecting, very, very slim.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, it's like mainly probably you or me calling each other.
Right. So, Cycly, here in a moment, my wife might come sit in and join us for just a few minutes on pod, which would be good to get a woman's perspective. But
I would love for Selma. No, what was her name?
I was going to say, what is her name? I was just asking
something
her.
Hayek.
What was her something? Okay, I'll tell her that. She couldn't remember.
Selma Hayek.
My wife, if you're listening at home, or wherever you're on Mars, she came on the Scream review from the beginning of this year. Way to book in the year, I guess.
My God, what was her name? It was something Hayek. It wasn't Selma Hayek.
No. I just sent her something Hayek, and she has to figure the rest out.
Tell her to go to the YouTube.
She's asking, was it her first name in Hayek? And I'm like, no, definitely not.
I don't think so.
This couple, I'm rooting for them, but I find it hard to believe that they're both too good looking to be this awkward.
I'm gonna say this: he can do better than her. But you know what? It's an office romance. It's kind of hot because it's wrong. You know.
I think it's almost like, if we're talking in sports, the best ability, Cycly, is availability. Like if you're just able to play, if he sees you every day, that's just pretty hot too. You know.
No, that's absolutely, like you said, she's a mermaid, dude, and.
Also, Laura Lynn is super cute. You could do a lot worse with the office chick, you know.
Oh no! Like I remember, I studied abroad in East Germany, and I forgot we got her tits. Nice. And I remember when we first got there, I was like, "Dude, these girls are not cute." And Germans have no sense of fashion. Yeah. And then about 3 weeks later, me and my friend were like, "Is it just me, or are the girls much cuter now?" And he's like, "No, I feel the same way."
Odd. As the seasons change, so do
I. We change. I matured. See, just have your phone on silent.
Maybe we're just getting more desperate.
Like, you don't have to answer the call. I get he has a mental illness or something, but like, you could have easily been like, "I was asleep." You know?
Yeah, this is tough. Because she's like, yeah, if I don't answer, even though the call itself, like what he wants is not important, like where's his mind going to go?
All right, I'm gonna go. Can you cover it?
Yeah, you do what you got to do.
I'll be right back.
Not to, bemoan her fashion sense too much, but these throw pillows. I mean, what are we doing here? A very inconsistent combination of threads here. Laura Linney perfectly cast in the role of the person who is so selfless that it actually really impedes on her own life. Like, always thinking of someone else, really to a fault, I guess. Although in this point, it's so commendable because it's, I'm assuming, her brother. Although I don't think they ever specifically say. And then even better, you find someone who is empathetic towards that. Maybe not because they're in the same situation, but they're at least like, you know what? Let's tuck the boner away for tonight, and let's just deal with the fact that families happen and they're tough. So I'm trying to find this guy's name. One of the biggest, look, we've been wrong a lot on this pod, but the fact that Rodrigo Santoro, who plays Carl, is not in Unfaithful is one that we would have lost the farm on. He's like, well, I mean, if you're going to keep answering the phone, do you mind if I do some push-ups here in the corner? Maybe some air squats?
I'm back. And
we're back.
While I was gone, I decided to look up the YouTube video of our Scream review. Your wife is Shakira Hayek.
Shakira Hayek. All right, maybe that is what she said.
I was like, I know. I mean, me and your wife share ethnicities. I was like, I knew it's something of our ethnicities. If you can.
So she was like, let me combine the two hottest Lebanese celebrities. Well, actually, Shakira's Argentinian, right?
She's half Lebanese, Colombian.
And Hayek is half too, right? But half what else? Is she Iranian?
Jordanian? Lebanese.
Mexican and Lebanese? No, I knew Lebanese. What's the other half?
Yeah, I think Mexican or something. Yeah.
I thought she was like Jordan.
Basically, everyone good-looking is half Lebanese.
That's true.
What I say. Me, Ronnie Cycli. Soon to be not the only Lebanese NBA player.
Wow, really?
Well, in a few years, we'll see.
That'd be cool.
Team Lebanon made the World Cup, and one of the players on the team is young and plays for the University of Michigan.
The left-handed point guard? Yeah, that guy is.
Yeah. He'll most likely be in the NBA. So, we do meet him. Okay, we do meet him.
Okay, while you were gone, I was questioning this, and I was saying it's also great how Carl is, especially on the first night where you could be like, all right, he might just be a dog looking to bury a bone. He's pretty empathetic to her situation.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I mean, like, dude,
let me look.
We're at the age now where, people have their flaws. People have their baggage. There's a great, again, I know we reference it all the time, How I Met Your Mother. Whole episode about baggage.
It's a great one. Let me say this. If you meet someone like past the age of 22 and they don't have quote unquote baggage, that is baggage.
Run.
Right. Something weird is going on. I know this much is true. Another HBO miniseries, really, really morose, but well written, where Mark Ruffalo plays two twins, and one of them has, I believe, the mental illness that this gentleman is suffering from.
Do we know what? I mean, we don't know explicitly, right? Like, you just say that because he was.
It's like some dissociative reality disorder. Like, one of the twins that Mark Ruffalo plays always thinks like someone is out to like assassinate him, and it creates like this like pervasive paranoia. That's just like really.
I thought someone. This is like if I thought someone was just going to assassinate me. You're like, dude, no one would assassinate you. Like, you're not.
Someone is stealing my lunches. You just forget to bring them to work. That's
It was like when I was a kid. You know the story. Like, I saw the movie Ransom when I was like 7, so I was like the same age as the kid who got kidnapped. And my biggest fear growing up was being kidnapped. And my sisters at one point be like, "Oh no one's gonna kidnap you." Like, as a kid, you're like, "Oh man, kidnapping's happening."
Well, then you get insulted. You're like, what do you mean? Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, why wouldn't they want me? I was like, Dad's not. I remember my sisters literally said, "Dad's not rich. No one's going to kidnap you." I was like,
right, because they're like, "Give us $4 million." Dad would be like, "Look, I love my son, but like, you both know that's not happening."
I was just like, "Is this a sense of comfort to a 6 or 7-year-old?" I don't know.
What's the scene in is it the second Austin Powers where he's like, $1 billion? Like, why don't you just ask for the fucking moon?
$100 trillion.
I do like how I think Tim Robbins is playing the president in that scene. The reference he makes is like so knowledgeable of future inflation. He's like, it's 1971. That kind of money doesn't even exist.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the polar opposite from the first movie where he said $1 million. They're like, okay.
Well, and then Dr. Evil just keeps, he's like, flip-a-jillion. Just give me like a lot of money, okay?
Oh, Emma Thompson. You're such a sweetheart.
Is Bernie their child?
I think.
So the kid was born 39 years old with a back problem, because that's any that's ever existed.
Well, they are British, so probably. This is I mean, again, like, I'm not condoning affairs, of course, but like, bro, don't buy a gift for your side piece while you are out with
Right.
your
And
wife.
I think the thing that makes this, oh my God, look at the fucking facial hair on that jewelry
Oh
clerk.
my god, I forgot.
I knew he was in it in a cameo role, and this is just perfect.
I remember because he's in the credits at the beginning, but I always forget who he is.
Cycly, have you seen Man vs. Bee on Netflix?
No, I can't say that I have.
Okay. I'm going to describe it to you, and I'm going to try and keep you from leaving the movie commentary to go watch it.
That's
It
gonna
is
be impossible.
8 8-minute episodes starring Rowan Atkinson, where he plays someone who just got hired as a house sitter. The first episode's 10 minutes, the rest are 8. He goes to this like rich person's house and they leave, and there is a bee in the house that he can't get out. Each of the 8-minute episodes is him battling the bee in a different room of the house. So they're called the room. So it's like living
Right.
room, garage, bathroom, study.
Wait, when did this come out?
Like 3 months ago.
What the fuck? How have I not heard a thing? I love this whole delivery of the scene. I was like, well, once your wife joins the pod, I'm gonna go upstairs and go watch that.
Now, my wife is a big Rowan Atkinson fan, but we watched 3 episodes, and they're very short. Like I said, literally 8 minutes. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. What do you mean? It's fucking.
Is it? I mean, do you like it? Is it a bit much?
It's so fucking stupid.
If anyone
like 8 minutes sounds like nothing, but all it is him in a different room, and then it all ends the same way. He like chases the bee out,
and it goes,
and you think he like wins, and then something happens.
you got to get to the end though.
Yeah,
I do love this because even if I wasn't buying jewelry for my side piece, I'd be so annoyed if anyone did this for a gift I was buying. It's like, dude, I don't need a cinnamon stick in there. What are we doing here?
Like a 14-minute cinnamon stick. What is that even for? You know, Rowan Atkinson, they probably gave him like 30 different props, and like I bet there's an extended take of this of him like taking like peanut M&Ms and like bathing with them.
I would absolutely watch this scene go on for 10 minutes.
Like, so the gift wrap is a formal process.
And I just love that he's like what worker on Christmas would enjoy this kind of detailed gift wrap? Like anyone would be like, no, just
I will say I have this acute respect for people that like, regardless of what their job is, they just take it so fucking seriously. Like it could be, I don't fucking shoveling shit off the sidewalk, but if you like get really into it, I just have an immense amount of respect for that.
Oh yeah. Oh, drink. Now we see him.
Well, we have not seen him in at least 30 minutes.
He was on a long flight. I will say I went to when I studied abroad in Germany, man. I never thought my accent was cute or sexy because it definitely isn't. But I'm telling you guys, it works.
Something about playing an away game, yeah, where it's just like almost an unfair advantage. It's good to know that it works both ways. I would just thought as Americans we were like sort of at a disadvantage there. Like, man, our voices don't sound cool. Because like you and I, even though we grew up in a place with a unique dialect, we never acquired it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I literally one point I remember I was one girl I had a crush on and she kept telling me how cute she thought my accent was, and I was like, "What are you talking about? I literally don't have an accent. My voice, like our accents that you and I have, are as plain as it possibly gets.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it. There's no indentions. There's no inflections. It's so. I mean, but to other people there is.
Well, and I'm basing this off of other people's opinions, but like no one has ever even told me that like certain words or like if I have like a certain emotion like anger or joy that my voice even like reverts to an accent. Whereas my wife, who grew up in New York, if she gets like really angry and yells at the TV, she will have like a Brooklyn accent occasionally. But I don't even have that with like a twang.
No, our voices are so boring.
Lame.
I remember
So that was a
Cyclic-
crawfish rocking Barney? What was
God.
the
Yeah. Love Barney.
worst off-Broadway play of all time? What is this?
She's learning to speak English so she can communicate.
Oh, okay. So we're back to Colin Firth's mate.
Yeah, with the guy that he's never like they've never had a conversation. He literally found his wife sleeping with his brother like a week ago. What are we doing here?
He's steering too hard into the skid.
What are we doing? Why is she even looking this up? You know, like, were you like that when you were young?
I just unplugged my.
Whoa, is that
Hi.
Shakira Hayek? What?
She can't see herself. I told her you went back and did the research to confirm her pod.
I confirmed.
Horrible pod name.
So people at home, Shakira Hayek returning to the pod to bookend the podcast, the first pod of the year with our Scream review, and now.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Look,
my wife is sick, but I will go get her awake right now. Robin Sparkles, you're needed.
You need to. This is Jordan's flu game.
The last one of the year. Selma Hayek, how does Love Actually fit in your lore? Are you a big fan?
Big fan. I'm actually kind of pissed you guys are watching it without me.
So, Cycly, how does he choose Milwaukee?
Is that where like a cousin is that his friend was at?
Or did he have like some folktale that he heard about Milwaukee where he's like, I don't know, like the fucking Rust Belt?
All right, Selma Hayek. Shakira Hayek.
Imagine being offended someone called Selma Hayek.
Let's say a guy is a 6. Okay. Jeff and I had this conversation earlier. And he has a suave British accent. Nothing else changes about it. How much of a bump is it?
I say 1.5.
Yeah, I bump into an 8.
I think
2. Damn.
I think 2 is, yeah.
This is January Jones from X-Men First Class, of course.
I mean, that's like a year away from
Alicia Cuthbert from Old School.
Man, January Jones was what, like Mad Men, right?
Yeah, Mad Men.
What happened to her?
She was
January Jones. This girl,
Katherine Heigl. Alicia Cuthbert.
Yeah.
She married an NHL player named Sean Avery, who they had an incredibly bad domestic abuse issue, kind of going both ways. And so she kind of ducked out of the limelight. She did a sitcom with Damon Wayans Jr., and he left the show New Girl for 1 year to do it. And then when that got canceled, he returned to New Girl.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
That's Coach.
Yes.
Yeah, Coach. Yeah. But yeah, she was literally the girl next door. Like everyone had a crush on her.
Next door, 24. She's in Old School.
Mm-hmm.
And then January Jones gets Mad Men, X-Men First Class. January Jones had the Katherine Heigl effect. She got caught being a horrendous bitch on set to people, and they said, well, then we're just not going to cast you in things anymore.
Somehow it didn't affect Natalie Portman.
Right. Well, Natalie Portman, I think, was only a bitch to Keira Knightley.
You look too much like me. Go away.
Sports. By the way, Cycly, this is off topic, but you do have to come down to our city for the MLB All-Star game next year, and you have to
absolutely.
wear the National League jersey while we were.
It's 100% happening. We should make our Bro Force Squad weekend around that event.
It'll be middle of the summer. That'll be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, classic position here. What's this guy's name? Fritzl? He's always between 3 10s.
She's the sexy one. I love it.
The people of Milwaukee love their portrayal here. That's what we all look like.
Pretty sure this is probably one of the only positive portrayals of Milwaukee that ever on screen, right?
Probably. I forget, what are they coming home to here?
That's the sexy one is coming home, and she's coming home to the foursome.
Cycly, let me ask you, What's your guys' light situation at your house? Because looking at this, you would die. I would die if I tried to put that up.
We unfortunately, you remember, you guys have been to our house. We got the lights on our patio, but on the front side of our house, right, like where it would be way too dangerous to get on that rooftop because of how high it is. I don't know if you guys remember over the driveway.
Yes.
So we have the icicle lights inside that sunroom.
Smart.
Yeah. So because I'm not risking my. Yeah. What about you guys?
We did like a little bit. Oh, she's like, oh, this is not the thing you were buying from Rowan Atkinson. By the way, I tried to pitch Cycling on Man vs. Bee.
No, why would you try to pitch him on that?
Shakira, I heard you love it.
We've gotten through 3 rooms of the house.
We watched the first episode, and after that, every time we would try to decide what we were gonna watch, you'd be like, "All right, we got, One of Us is Lying, White Lotus, or Man vs. Bee." Like so serious.
And be like, but Man vs. Bee, I don't know. We're gonna be lost with the plot. We haven't seen it in a while.
We're not watching that.
Emmy Award-winning White Lotus.
Okay, so what happened was he was in the living room, and then they were in the garage. Now he's in the laundry room.
I love it because that's when you have enough money to be like, you know what, let's fucking make this.
The episode title is literally just the room he's in.
Could you imagine if like you and I pawn this off, like just told Shakira Hayek or Robin Sparkles our idea, and they'd be like, yeah, no, that's terrible.
It would.
But when you're successful, it doesn't.
If we had a meeting with Netflix, they would be rooting against us.
It goes back to the whole theme about this movie. If you kind of like me, my stalkerish attitude is romantic. But if you don't like me, it's fucking weird, and I'm getting a restraining order.
The line between romantic and like you should spend 2 years in a federal penitentiary is really how hot are you?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Poor Emma Thompson.
Yeah, this is between this story for her and what's the American's name with her brother?
Laura Linney?
Yeah, Laura Linney. Yeah.
That story arc is really sad too. If you think about it, this is more morose than most of these anthology quote unquote rom-coms, because even Liam Neeson's story, although it the finale of it is more upbeat, like the majority of it is based on loss. I mean, his wife passed away.
Yeah. Can I just say this? And it's always funny, and I could be completely in the wrong, and I hope this never happens to any of us, but I genuinely feel like our 2 wives wouldn't just sit in the room and cry and then act like everything's okay. Like, I'm pretty sure we would get called out immediately.
I would just you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's always funny. I'm like,
you're gonna cry in my room if I find out you're cheating on me?
Yeah, and I'm gonna act like everything's okay.
Your secretary.
Like, I would be like, no, that's not happening. Not with our wives. That's for sure.
Not up in here.
Like, there's no like, hey, sweetie, it's Christmas. Let's save this fight for next week.
Sitting on the couch, not talking while she went in the room and cried.
Yeah, that'd be him having a relationship with his kids. Of course he doesn't.
So, what do we talk about, children? There's Liam Neeson. He's like, I really want to go kill some Albanians. Well, we just lost our mom. Can we just hang out on the couch for a little bit? 5 more minutes.
They just don't care about their mom, though. It's so weird.
I might have missed something. It is this kid's mom, too, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why.
He literally says at one point, I know I should be sad about mom, but I'm just so in love.
Is he the kid's dad, or is he like a stepdad?
Is it not the dad?
He's his dad, I thought.
He is?
I think so.
For some reason,
unless I've missed something.
I thought there might have been a part of the story where he's like, drink, countdown till Christmas.
Drink.
It's Christmas movie bingo. That's one of the cards. I thought there was like a part in the beginning where he's like, I'm not your dad, but like he's been married to his mom for like 3-4 years. Maybe I missed that. Maybe I'm combining this
it's very possible. No, I just
what a fuck.
Then I'd really want to look into her life insurance situation because now it's suspicious.
No, I never thought this was
Bill Nye's character I could do with a comedy movie with just him.
Has he ever really? I mean, you and I talked about this at the beginning. Has he ever been the main focal point that
What's
you
the
can
bride
remember?
Never a bride, but he's always a very strong contributor.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Did this song actually deserve to get? Because you know, when we were young in the 90s, they used to play like movie songs on the radio, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like this song, like I think it's actually pretty good. This never actually became a real song.
Is there a
Not
way
that
to
I know.
copy a Spotify playlist and then like add your own songs to it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm gonna take the Christmas hits playlist that Spotify has, copy it, and add "Feel It in My Fingers."
Well, let's see if it's on here.
I feel it in my fingers.
Did you tell exactly what happened in Boy Meets World yesterday? Speaking of songs being famous from shows.
Ooh,
With
what?
Angel.
Yeah, there was a literal band that exists in real life
Cycly,
performing on Boy
do you
Meets
remember the
World.
early 2000s girl pop band Nobody's Angel?
Nobody's. No, I not that I can remember.
Exactly. That's why I didn't bring it up. Well, they were in an episode of Boy Meets World that we rewatched yesterday. Apparently, I was supposed to tell you that.
They performed an entire song.
It's.
It was like
I'm sure younger me remembers them. I'm just.
Boy Meets World.
I need to look this up because
Everett
I feel
Ross-
like it might bring up something in me.
He's gonna say goodbye to her and then get back to Wakanda now.
By the way, I'm looking at the Love Actually soundtrack. I'm not seeing you. What could that song possibly be called? Because I'm not seeing it on here.
Christmas is all around or something.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Really? Nothing by Bill Nye.
Nope. That's what I'm saying. Like I remember. What is that? Is a false memory? I remember songs and movies were always on the radio.
If you had Will Smith in your movie, he had to do half the soundtrack.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so no, we're not here yet. This is the interesting part of this subplot, where I don't know if we get it now, but when he meets his dad, the Portuguese woman's dad.
Sorry, what did I miss? Why did he just show up and walk out?
He went to his family's Christmas, and he realizes he wants to be with the Portuguese woman.
Got it. He has a boner, so he's like, hang on, let me leave. So she's working. Again, we got to drink. This is on the Christmas movie bingo card. Workaholic who doesn't have time for the holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Christmas Eve, guys. Come on. Go home.
Look, Carl's report isn't going to write itself, okay?
Also, why is... I never thought about this. She's clearly American, so I would assume her brother's American. Why does she live in London? Well, I'm not saying an American can't live in London. I'm saying her brother lives in London.
Well,
she brought her mentally.
They want decent health care, so they probably got.
Oh, okay. Touche. Actually, that's a very valid.
So you called and asked about our hospital. Here's a $680 bill. Yeah, I know you've been working full time for 14 years and have full health.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting an actual answer to that. That was actually really good.
I will say, I'm going to nitpick this movie. This is probably like, as far as on the scale of entertainment, I give this probably an 8 out of 10. But the one thing is, there's a huge disparity on like how much we see each narrative. Like sometimes you'll go 25 minutes without seeing one of the stories.
Well, just like Hugh Grant's character, we've been making fun of it the whole time because he's prime minister and he's hitting on the help. But we haven't seen him with the help since the whole Billy Bob scene, right?
Sweet. Yeah.
So they've had 3 conversations, and again, he's the fucking prime minister.
Oh,
he's gonna go.
This is the scene.
The scene.
Baron Sorcerer Supreme's wife walks out.
The definition of stalker or romantic. Well, where do you stand? Oh shit.
I wish that he would just have like something wrong written on the cue card that just like doesn't make sense at all.
Or they're out of place.
What does "you're allergic to crawfish" mean? I thought you would ask if I have any allergies. Why?
Shakira, as a woman, what is your view on this scene?
It's pathetic.
Isn't it though?
It is. It really is.
Even though we just saw nipple, it's still pathetic.
It makes it even more pathetic.
Could you imagine if, like, at your wedding, I did all this?
Right, like that's literally what it is.
You still love me as, you know, we're still good friends, but like that's not the same thing as being like okay with this kind of behavior.
It's crazy.
I wish he would have misspelled something or had I honestly I can't fucking read
No,
this.
if it says like
Chicken
you're, but
stock
it's
is
you,
what
it's
Welsh.
he has you are perfect, but it's your, but there's no apostrophe. She's like,
my pussy is bone dry. But like, what's her reaction supposed to be? I love you. I just married your fucking best friend.
What does he want out of it? Like, she's also 19 years old, man. Like, oof.
And like, who am I rooting for? I wish you would just tell him, like, look, I don't need this. I just got cast in Pirates of the Caribbean. I can't put up with your bullshit.
It does suck because they make you want to root for him, but it's like, no, he sucks.
No,
But especially, sorry.
No, go. Yeah.
I was gonna say he handled liking her like a literal kindergartner. Like, I like you, so I'm gonna push your head in the sand and be rude to you for 6 months.
And this is also not okay.
No.
Like, why are we okay with it? It's always perspective, right? We're like, oh, that's sweet. She's saying, I'm, you know, like, imagine the poor husband upstairs, like, wait, what just happened?
Now
Wait, my best friend did what? And then you did what?
Oh, let's make Christmas sexy again, you know?
I've been saying for years.
And now I'm finally on board.
This is the best love story, guys.
I agree. Manager and artist.
Just this friendship, you know, like it's kind. It's pure, you know?
Or me and his leopard skin pants. Snake skin, excuse me.
Selma, what's your God, I keep saying your name wrong. Shakira.
Yeah.
What is your favorite side story in this movie?
Gosh, I haven't watched this in a while.
We got Liam Neeson. We have Snape cheating.
I really like Liam Neeson and his son.
His is, I think,
it's the most like heartwarming one.
That's the only like
it has
non-problematic.
It says like a Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve type movie, and it's really freaking
No,
me out.
it's the
It
first
literally
one.
is.
It's
It's the beginning of all those movies.
I think the most consistent is Liam Neeson's. To me, the most interesting, just because of like probably Alan Rickman, is the Alan Rickman storyline. Like, he's the shittiest person, but he's my favorite actor in the whole thing. So and I love Emma Thompson, so like watching their shit play out is.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's not my favorite because it's sad.
Yeah, but if you,
they're all sad.
If you put a gun to my head and said, which of these stories on its own could you turn into an hour-and-a-half movie, that would probably be my pick.
True.
Yeah. I mean, it is an interesting dynamic, right? It's very, I think they try to like plug in, like, obviously they do the father-son thing. They do this friendship one. They do new love. They do old love. And like this kind of like what you guys are talking about, the Alan Rickman storyline and Emma Thompson, just like they've been married for a long time. And you could argue, not trying to defend him, like, oh, Alan Rickman in his head is just like, oh, I'm just flirting, I'm doing this. And then you're just like, what the pain actually causes someone who's been your partner for so long. But whether or not he physically did anything is so heart-wrenching.
But I think especially for 2003, there's an interesting dynamic that it presents where it's like the victim actually ends up being the empowered one. Like at the end of the story, I know right now but there's about to be a paradigm shift where Alan Rickman, who's quote unquote, the head of the snake, or he's like in the power position in the relationship.
Yeah.
In the end, he ends up looking like the bitch, and Emma Thompson
100%.
ends up looking like the fucking boss.
And that's the thing. Like, yeah, exactly. It's just like how that perspective changes and what he thought was going to make him happy and doesn't. And that's why you say you can't defend someone being like, oh, he didn't actually do it. No, he did. He did. He hurt someone who trusted him more than anyone on this earth.
And the worst part was he got upsold by Rowan Atkinson at the perfume.
It's Rowan Atkinson's fault, as always.
If you sign a card XXX, I mean, that's might as well be like, check here for anal, right?
Or it's Vin Diesel.
I don't remember this story.
He's the prime minister, and he's like actually falling in love with his assistant.
That he's met for 10 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does love have to run on your fucking timeline? My God.
It's the prime minister of a nation hitting on his help. I'm just saying. We're talking about power dynamics.
Erroneous.
Erroneous on all accounts.
Appropriate. What?
I always love this idea, is like, because you and I have talked about this endlessly about Titanic, right? Like where these couples find each other in these movies and are so caught up in the romance.
Out after 2 days, he was
after
like,
2 days, dude, what happens 6 months, a year down the road?
Show me the real sequel where they like the honeymoon period ends and like
Yes,
are really not compatible.
it was like we were talking about when we started the podcast, the joking fights, the silly arguments you get into with your significant others. Like,
she doesn't like sports.
like, oh man.
God, what have I done?
Also, like this is the dodgy end.
Why is every street in England like 4 feet wide?
Yeah, they're skinnier than we are.
And again, women in England, you're either 33 or 71. There's no one in between.
This actually might be a good tactic, considering how feeble and fragile the British government is right now, going from prime minister to prime minister. They should actually do this. So you guys watched the newest season of Ted Lasso, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes me just reminded me of that scene where Roy and Keeley and the niece are going from door to door.
My God,
looking for a dentist.
His niece is maybe like the unspoken hero of that show.
Oh, she's. I love it when she cusses.
When the fuck are we getting the third and final season, man?
I think they just finished filming.
Jason Sudeikis, I don't know who was someone in production had like a really serious family death and they had to delay shooting for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, there's a lot of delays. But I know they were filming on Halloween and everyone dressed as Ted Lasso.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's kind of funny pictures.
The guy that plays Roy Kent, I can't remember his name, but he's in the MCU now.
Yeah, Brent Goldstein. Massive massive Muppets fan. And he has a YouTube video of him doing stand-up and him doing all of a reenactment of Muppets Christmas Carol.
You told me to watch that, and I've watched it 3 times since.
So good.
This guy's like, all right, I'm just going to knock on every door?
She told him she lives next to him.
Oh.
Yeah, the dodgy end, right, is what she said.
4 feet to my left.
British homes always seem a little claustrophobic to me.
Yeah. That one dude's here, I don't know if you can see him. He looks like one of the background singers for Linkin Park.
Oh my God, yeah, 100%. That hairstyle was in, man. Maybe that will come back around with cargo pants.
That's the one piece of fashion I just don't think is going to boomerang back. I just can't. I mean, I'm going to be proven wrong, of course. My kids will be wearing them. I'll be like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys?
I'm telling you, cargo pants are in the stores right now. I wish I was lying.
But okay, I teach 7th graders. When they start wearing them, then I'll get worried.
That's a good point. We'll see when springtime comes. You'll have to keep me updated.
For sure.
Actually, no, don't keep me updated on middle school kids' fashion. Actually, don't do that.
I sent you that weekly newsletter. You've been opening emails, right?
Yeah, I hate how much I love it.
So this is her like nephew who has a concert?
I think so, yeah. This whole family.
He's like, can we pregame it? Because I don't go to any concert sober.
Honestly, like Christmas Eve, that's like too much going on. I don't know. Christmas Eve is that's a different for you guys being Catholic, right? Did you guys do midnight mass?
We did. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like I just don't, doing events on Christmas Eve, it just seems like a lot. Outside of church, I mean, like events like this, like a kid's pageant.
Where they said after mass we can open a present. I was like,
yeah.
Midnight mass? Yeah. Like 3 a.m.?
When I knew I was getting Pokemon Red on Game Boy, yeah, I'm going to fucking stay up for that shit.
Like, go to midnight mass and just fall asleep in the pew.
Our tradition was always one gift on Christmas Eve each.
Yep. The worst part, Cycly, you can relate to this. One year I opened Diddy Kong Racing but I didn't have the N64 opened yet.
So are you like,
We're picking a gift, and my dad goes, "That was a mistake," and I'm like, "What?" Like,
I
"No,
hope you don't even put two and two together. You're like, I don't even have this. This is bullshit.
Yeah. What kind of sick fuck
I feel
wraps
like probably should have picked the gift.
What am I supposed to do with this,
it?
Mom?
That type of like foresight. He'd rather me like get fucking tortured for a night.
That's why Dad shouldn't have given the gift. Mom should have.
I was always bad. I don't know. Were you like that, Shakira? Like, would you ever peek at your gifts or try to?
Yeah, searching the whole house, trying to figure out if Santa was real. Finding gifts for her. I found them every year.
Dude, my brother one time ripped, like, not even on the seam of the present, one of his Lego sets, like, across the middle, and tried to tape it back, and there was, like, 4 inches of the box exposed when he did it.
And that was last year.
Yeah, that was 4 minutes ago.
He's 30 years old. Why is he getting Legos?
So, like, why is Martin Freeman at this play?
Is they're all? This is where the stories come together, right? Like, so.
Okay.
What's her storyline related to that? I don't even know what their names are either.
No one does. That's the beauty of these ensemble movies. You don't need to know. Whatever happened to Redheaded?
This guy's in love with a woman who like they don't even speak the same language, right?
Yeah, they've also never been able to communicate one word.
I mean, like, I get that. Like, you want revenge, you want to fall for someone else, but like, maybe speak the same language.
This guy's in Mamma Mia and Bridget Jones.
Yeah.
You know, Shakira, that was the whole point. We were like, he literally found his wife sleeping with his brother. And a few days later is in Portugal trying to hook up with the chick who doesn't speak his language. I'm like, that's not a good setup for a relationship. It's just not.
If I can quote the poet Rihanna, we found love in a hopeless place.
You can't even speak to each other.
No, again, that's great to be attracted to each other, but guys, you all know marriage is it's a transaction. There's a lot of complexities that go into this. You can't just, hey, we don't speak any.
That's not it.
The opposite of love is blind.
Yes. We actually, you know what? Netflix is listening to me like, we got an idea.
This is bittersweet. She thinks her brother's here to watch her child.
Yeah. But he's really there to just get his dick wet.
Right.
Sorry.
I'm about to get my beak wet. Look, if you don't mind, I've got this 6 on my shoulder. So it's like, let's take a seat. Gavin, that's a name that's gone away for good reason.
Look how he's smiling in the background. He's like, oh, that was awesome.
He's never introduced me to no one. I'm always just a fucking background worker, so it doesn't even matter.
His wife is telling him he's never going to make it. And he's like, oh, I'm going to show her.
I'll show that bird. Right, we've had a lot of drama behind the scenes of this play. It's been like the 2003 version of Don't Worry, Darling. So let's see how the production goes.
So I don't know what's going on here with all these costumes.
They're metaphors, okay? They all mean something. We remember the alien at the birth of Christ, obviously.
I've read the Bible, man. It was definitely there.
It's New Testament, but it's definitely there. That's Jonah. Well, it's just all biblical things that don't really.
Spider-Man.
That's little kids like, I'm going as fucking Spider-Man. So we either go as Spider-Man or we don't go.
This just seems excessive for Christmas Eve, guys.
It's definitely
it
standing
like a lot.
And that's all that matters is profit.
It's all these schools see.
This guy is like the bagged cereal version of the guy who pretends to be paralyzed in There's Something About Mary.
I just don't know if I can have children because I can't pretend to enjoy this. On Christmas
That's
Eve,
why you boo in the background, and we have a
Robin Sparkles and I talk about that all the fucking time.
My kids.
The show sucked. The show sucked.
I do not want to have to sit through this for 2.5 hours and be like, yay.
Second act really started to mail it in. Like, what? I'm 7.
No, your rendition of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was breathtaking. I'm so glad I was here for it.
Is this Alicia Keys?
Are you asking that sincerely?
Yes, it looks exactly like her.
Wow. Okay. Racist. Jeez. I all look alike.
Wait, what color is Alicia Keys? I don't see race.
I don't either. I'm just assuming.
Oh. You're just assuming race. That's better.
Yes.
Saved it.
And why is he getting like? They keep showing Hugh Grant like come up behind her. Like, why is he getting horny at this moment?
It's like they don't judge what turns him on.
He's like, oh yeah, like this children's pageant.
I want to fuck you.
I know I've only talked to you like 3 times, and you've been serving me biscuits while I've been in the Oval Office. But
wait, biscuits as in like British cookies or like American?
British cookies, yeah.
Oh,
I guess that's true. British, yeah, British.
Watches one time. Watches soccer.
Very different.
I totally learned that from the Great British Baking Show.
Yeah.
I kept talking about biscuits. I was like, those ain't biscuits.
That's not the same as us.
Not from
You know, the fans are clapping, but the reviews in the morning will be 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Oh yeah. The British media is relentless. Let's be honest. The Sun's gonna get a hold of this, and it's gonna.
Oh god, they're gonna fucking run with it.
It's just not a romantic moment, guys. Come on.
Why does the guy have like the Guy Fawkes anarchy symbol on his shirt? Is this the time to send your political message? Actually, I fucking think it is. Remember when backwards hats were cool?
I can pull it off. You know, it's coming back. My favorite is how much we both hate the University of Texas A&M. And there's an image of an A&M fan with a backwards hat and a sunglasses.
Iconic image.
Iconic. And he's covering his eyes because the sun is bright. They're like, if only there was something.
There's a video of a guy at an A&M football game. He has a backwards hat on and sunglasses. Backwards hat on. And he's blocking the sun like this with his hand. And it's like
he has 2 things. I would like this too because like this feels like he could easily play this off. Like they made it seem like they rose the curtain and had him at the centerpiece. But I'd also be like, why are they introducing the prime minister with his girlfriend at a children's pageant?
Even if they voted for him, like let's just say the president came out with like a new girlfriend.
There's Joe Biden or Donald Trump. You're like, what?
Get off stage, bro. Like an alien.
Really weird.
Christ, I want to see how that plays out. Is there ever more gossip than the fucking lobby after the kids' musical?
That's got to be the place, man.
This is a good conversation.
Oh my god.
Call his ass out.
He could be like, that was your fake gift. No.
Yeah, right. Oh, Karen.
Poor Emma.
Definitely not love with the receptionist whore, right?
You would hope not.
Did they ever definitively hook up in the movie, or is he just like trying to get?
That was my point. Was like saying like at least they don't show it. Maybe they did, and we don't know. But my point was like they don't show anything other than her flirting with him multiple times, and him obviously being infatuated by that, and you and I talking about the power element that he's probably getting off on. But like again, to me, it's like it's not just like the cheating emotionally, right? Like whether he physically did something or not doesn't take away from her pain.
Well, that's like this small dick energy. Sure. These guys get off more on themselves than anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a cactus, but if she's like, oh my god, you're like so powerful and cool, he's like, fuck, that's what gets me hard. King Joffrey's like, can we take over Westeros now, Dad?
Right. It's almost like she would probably be like, look, if you just been like, oh, she's super hot and you want to have sex with her and you were drunk, like the fact that he like emotionally took the time. I'm not saying one is worse or not. I'm just saying like that's a different level of
like
pain to be like
and upsell you on the sentence.
He was shopping with his wife.
Yeah.
And still did that. She's being a lot nicer to him than I would be or any of our wives would be. That's so fucked up.
Let's get the shit kicked out of us by love. As long as love isn't an Albanian named Marco from Tripoli.
Again, dude, your wife's been dead for 5 days.
She's 20 years younger than you.
Yeah, what the hell? Oh, stepdad, you were right, Horns.
Oh,
wow. Drink to cycly admit
He's
it.
not the stepdad, guys. He's the dad that stepped up.
Wow. Way to fucking steal my thunder, bro. I was right for 2 seconds, then you dropped that on us. Look, I understand you're Swedish, but having teeth that bad does not make up for it.
That's what the British like, though. I get it. I have bad teeth.
The boys are like, we're gonna be stepbrothers.
Dude, and the son's okay with it. Like, how was the mom just a horrible person? How is there no
You did not
sense
see
of
how she folded the towels. Trust me.
like remorse? Again, if they had done like a 6 months later thing, I could forgive them.
Yeah, it's a bit. That's what I'm saying. Like, she must have been sick for a while because the way that they play it off is like, this guy still hasn't found his housekeeper.
This is the scene that I wanted to make. I made a point at the beginning. This is really fucked up. What her dad thinks is happening here.
His dad's like, well, I sold her on eBay. Are you Trippy Hands 16? No.
You want to marry my daughter who you've literally never spoken to?
This poor woman.
Who cares?
He says, sell. I'll pay him. What the fuck?
Oh
So
my
messed
God.
up. Again, Christmas Eve, don't people have plans? Like, I'm just shocked by this.
Yeah, I think that's the sad. Who is this lady all of a sudden getting involved?
Fathers with a cell.
Father's about to sell.
And why are they all
Some
okay
town
with
gossip.
it?
Here we go.
Shouldn't, if that's considerable, like, shouldn't they all be like, hey, let's stop this?
Who's trying to get to New York and why?
The girl that Liam Neeson's son is in love with.
Who's that?
She was the girl that was singing All I Want for Christmas Is You. She's
So-
like 6 feet
Yeah.
tall.
Okay, so why is she in New York already?
She's on her way to New York.
God. Have you even been watching this movie?
Like, where
I
have you
love
been?
how this
They've been
is
chasing them for 10
this
minutes.
is post 9/11 and they walk. I understand it's England, but they walk up to the gate without a boarding pass.
Is it post
2003.
Yeah.
Unless they filmed it like 3 years earlier.
I don't think so.
This guy's the villain from Who Framed
Oh.
Roger Rabbit. Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
God, Mr.
There
Bean.
was this bee.
Man vs. Bee.
We have Laundry Room next, Cycly. How excited are you for that episode?
Oh my, laundry room? Do
Laundry-
not give me spoilers about that.
That's where
You
he's
do not.
by the way. While he
Did
watches
they like pay him for that, or did he do that just out of the kindness of his own heart?
Rowan Atkinson?
Yeah.
Oh, he's earlier in the movie. He's the jewelry salesman
Oh.
who like keeps adding shit to the bag. He like smells a cinnamon stick and drops it in.
I would love this idea that this kid like finally gets through everything and then goes to jail for like
Geiger references often the worst part about 90s movies is they made kids think we could beat the shit out of adults or like circumvent any security.
Yeah.
Like this is case in point.
This is Heathrow International, like one of those
He's almost
secured.
God forbid this kid wasn't white. What would happen right now?
Al Qaeda's watching this and taking notes. They're like, okay.
I love how incompetent they make security look too. They're like fucking bumping into each other.
Oh no!
Oh, someone dropped marbles.
They're suddenly the Home Alone thieves.
Beam bum, beam bum, beam bum. What's his plan? Like
you're gonna tell this 6 foot 8-year-old that you love her on her way to New York?
Yeah.
So
she's like, okay, like what are we gonna do?
Right.
And then what?
What are you gonna do about that? I'm going on Christmas.
Plus, you're gonna be
vacation.
in jail for 14 years because of
I
what
have
you
to go
did.
see the Rockefeller Center tree.
He's never gonna get a job. He's gonna have to be.
Not Short King Spring yet.
As long as these adults are distracted by ass.
He's old and naked. It's funny. Okay, it's like, okay, all we have to do
Whoa!
is
Parkour.
put naked people. And what happened to the officers? Oh my God.
It's likely there's a dick maybe on TV.
Shit, they're all like, guys, got this.
Cops like,
Like-
wait, are you trying to get laid?
I always love that. In nothing makes fun of the whole airport shtick better than Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah, that's pretty good. By the way, that's the first thing I ever saw Josh Radnor in.
Oh shit, he's a tour guide or something.
Yeah, he's
right?
giving the tour of the school.
Oh, forgot about that.
She kissed him on the cheek. Worth it.
Wow. I wonder if he's pregnant now.
He's so cute.
Also, the like puffy hood. This kid's way ahead of his time with the fashion.
Also, his mom died 5 fucking days ago. Why are we not bothered
How
by
are we gonna mourn forever, Cycling? It's almost been an entire week.
Jesus. I don't know how they do it in Britain, but we like our moms here.
You mourn for an hour-long episode of like some HBO show, and then it's over.
It's excessive to mourn any more than that.
Yeah, now you just want attention. Is this the worst toupee of maybe all time in England? This bartender, they won't show him again because it's so bad.
Well, we're in Portugal now.
Oh shit, we are. That's right. Never mind them. They're known for their bad toupees.
This girl's like she's the assistant, now she's a waitress. Again, are there really this many people at dinner on Christmas Eve? Maybe it's different cultures. I just think I'm just not used to people,
Oh, I think should we add to Christmas movie bingo like any type of confession in front of a crowd?
Oh, that's a good one.
Like right here, this is a good one. Like, I know we've both been through a lot this Christmas, and I haven't always been the best guy.
And I know we've never spoken a word ever to each other, and we spent 10 minutes together.
Marriage me, please.
Marriage. Something about prawn fish.
I don't even know you, but marriage me.
That is so hot.
I wish everyone's like, "Hey, dude, we're all trying to enjoy our dinner, so
yeah, our app's just
you
out, and this calamari is no good when it's cold. So if you could just shut the fuck up for 10 minutes."
Also, this guy is really bad at Portuguese.
Like this. So what makes rom-coms suck? Making them think that people think this is realistic.
But I think part of the allure to it is that it is so removed from reality. Like, if there's anyone that thinks this is real, they've never had an actual real life experience.
That's real.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, we were in high school when this came out, early high school. Like, people do think like people think this is what romance is. And if you don't feel that kind of like full on obsession immediately, even if you can't communicate, then there's something wrong.
No, this is more important. That someone shouted at you from one floor below at an Olive Garden.
I wish they did show us an Olive Garden.
He Google translated it on his
menu. For real.
His dad sold him.
And I love that everyone's clapping, acting like, if I was in the restaurant, I'd be like, oh, that's adorable. They've clearly been in love for years. And everyone's like, no, they just met. And we're like, oh,
actually,
wait, what?
What's today? Friday?
He's not even legally divorced.
What?
It's been
probably not even legally separated.
It's been a week. He needs to see a therapist that his brother had an affair with his wife. Like, how are we just,
I don't even think they have each other's phone numbers.
No.
Just in cases.
I ordered an artichoke dip an hour ago. This is not hygienic that the waitress is kissing.
I'm watching this kiss and I'm like, oh my God, I regret this marriage proposal already.
Your breath is really bad.
Ew, this is the most awful on-screen kiss I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's normal. That's a thing that happens.
What kind of dad is this? Just like granting permission, not weirded out by this.
What if he's like, is it weird that the only one that I actually felt something was the dad?
That was the most authentic of all the kisses.
Yeah. And he used the most tongue of anyone. That January Jones, she's back. Cycling, I don't know if you said this off the top. First 2 acts of this movie, really, really strong. Everyone's story arc, for the most part, ends with kind of a fizzle to me.
It's like I said at the beginning, is like this movie is really fun. I think that's why you can always defend it. It's really fun. But if you really want to break down this movie and each story arc individually, it can break down really quickly. So do we think they're working on it?
How do you work on that? I don't...
She's clearly not good.
Therapy.
If the kids weren't
No
involved...
way she can.
It's going to take a lot of work.
I mean, and then he went on a business trip. Like, how is she going to trust him on a business trip?
Oh my God. We haven't seen Matthew Lillard in a while.
Well, yeah, we're about to. And so he just got engaged in a month. My God, they move quickly. I guess. I mean, Shakespeare was all about like, I don't know if it's like impact on British culture, but man, people.
It's like all these
there.
are destined to crash. And Shannon Elizabeth is in this.
She's the sexy one.
Oh my God, that poor girl. I hope she made enough money because she just sold out.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, what's her name?
Elizabeth. Hang on.
No.
It's Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, it's not Elizabeth. It's Oh my God, not Heather. What is her name?
Homer so mad. They're like, look this shit up. Like, all right, bro, fucking relax. Like,
and he's the prime minister. You wouldn't do that.
You would not.
He called her fat too. Oh my God.
No, not Cruel Intentions. What's the fucking? Hang on, I'll find it.
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards.
And
the movie is with Nev Campbell.
Oh.
Bad Intentions? I don't know. Hang on.
It's not Cruel Intentions.
Wild Things. Very close.
Did you really say it's not Cruel Intentions? Bad Intentions.
Cruel Intentions is a movie with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan. Well, that was a daughter and her mom.
I will say, I love airports for this reason. I love people watching at airports. It's one of my favorite.
I love airports when I'm not trying to travel.
You peak people watching.
Yeah, that is true. And actually, the airport beer is one of the great inventions of life.
The what?
Airport beer.
Oh, airport. I heard air purifier. I was like, wait, what?
Well, that too. Have you
Yes.
tried it?
So how does that movie hold up? And because I feel like that movie is still fun, but yeah, it's not as impactful as it was.
That is Love Actually. Actually, let's go to Shakira Hayek first. Shakira Hayek, give us the female perspective.
Okay. Female perspective. I made this comment earlier. This was romantic when I watched it in high school and even in college and early 20s, but now I'm watching it and I'm mad. I'm just like, none of these, the prime minister, okay, he's fine. He's fine. The Portuguese waitress and her man, and they don't even speak English.
Who's like clearly a rebound.
Right. They're just going straight to marriage. Like, not like, oh, let's go on a date. They're literally just getting married.
Why date when you can marry? You know?
That's stupid. It's just so stupid. Genuinely. And the little postcards outside with, what's her name?
The front, yeah, Keira Knightley in the front.
Oh, the postcards?
What
you thought those were poster boards?
Poster boards.
Yeah.
Keira Knightley and the poster boards. I again thought it was romantic. That's not romantic. That is fucked up on so many levels.
She's already married. You're her husband's best friend.
Yeah. The storyline I could vibe with a little bit. Outside of her, Emma Thompson, like, I'm a little pissed that she cried and just, like, moved on with it. Maybe I'll understand a little bit more, like, having kids and you kind of need to play it cool in front of them. The way she handled it afterwards, like, super passive-aggressive, I feel like I would have approached it I'd approach it in the same way, being like, so imagine this, I think I'm about to get a gold necklace, and I open up, and it's fucking CD, and who got the gold
necklace? Take notes. What did you get her for Christmas, Jeff?
That's a mixtape.
Like, I kind of appreciate how she handled it. I don't know. I don't like that she ignored it for a while, but I like her, like, passive-aggressive,
But is it... I get what you're saying, but isn't it always one of those things where like the woman is always expected to be the better? Like, I wouldn't have blamed her if she just started yelling at him and being.
And don't make him look bad in front of the kids.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, why are we always making the assholes look? Protect them.
For sure. That's literally just that is society. We're supposed to like make the bad guy look good so that we don't make him look bad in front of his kids or in front of his boss or in front of his friends.
I think it's that, but then it's also like he's such a piece of shit. Like Emma Thompson's like, I'm not gonna let him know that he's hurt me, because like he's not fucking worth it.
But like he's her husband, he has to be worth it a little bit.
I get it.
You're like, no, I'd be like, fuck you.
I know, bro.
He's her husband. They have 2 kids together.
But anyone who does what he did, it's like they almost don't deserve like to upset you. And I get you're in a relationship, but like in front of your kids, it's like, you know what? Like if you're gonna buy your whore from Rowan Atkinson, who smells a cinnamon stick and tosses it into the gift bag, a necklace, then like you're not my guy.
Yeah. That's just stupidity.
Right, but she stuck it out. She's still with him to this day.
I will say, as far as
in
movies,
2022, she's with him.
We're getting really
2022.
She's with him.
So, Shakira Hayek says, 18 years later, everything in this is still the same.
We don't have any proof that it's not. So until they do the sequel,
Emma Thompson is not married. So.
Until Love Actually 2 Electric Boogaloo comes out, we have no way of knowing.
Cycle, we'll end with you. As far as anthology movies go, where it's multiple storylines, Love Actually did it first. Did they do it best?
That's not the problem with the movie. I agree, actually, like with Shakira there, because like almost all of the stories are problematic, save for, funny enough, the stand-in actors, right? And what's his name going to America to hook up with chicks. Yeah. Which is the most innocent. Like, good for him. He was honest about what he wanted.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 ones. Again, Liam Neeson and his son. That one too. The 3. Those are
kind of, because he went and found a new woman 3 days later.
Yeah.
It's almost reversed now that his stepson, and he's already met a Swedish blonde chick.
That's true too. God damn it. Well, at least their relationship.
I know. This hurts me too.
Yeah, and of course the singer and the manager one. So like half the stories minimum at best are not problematic, which is so interesting. But again, I think the film is, if you take it at its surface level, just completely simple, like just not think about it at all. It's really fun and entertaining. I think that's how we watched it when we were in high school. We didn't break this movie down. It's still funny. It's still easy to watch. But the second you think about this movie, it is not good.
I do appreciate, though, how even though it was the first to break this mold, they didn't end with like every single ending being a happy ending. Like it would have been easy to be like everyone lands on their feet, but that's not life. So it's kind of cool that they did that. But yeah. And definitely the other thing that's a problem, and I think as more of these ensemble movies came out, they fixed this because they got bigger or like more famous cast members, but all the stories are not given equal amount of the narrative. Like the British guy who ends up going to Milwaukee, he's in probably like literally 11 minutes of the film.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But he was the most endearing.
Why even have him?
Yeah, well, that was I'm really glad, Shakira, that you joined.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for letting me crash.
We can't afford her, so this is actually going to set the pod.
Yeah. Well, Robin Sparkles is going to be really upset.
I miss her.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she's going to find out what she missed on. It's her fault for getting sick. So.
You have to tell her, but she's going to be like, "You fucking did what?"
Well. I don't know, guys. With Scream 6 coming out, I think we're due for.
Shit, I gotta watch the trailer. You said.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
Scream 6.
We have to, guys. We have to watch it together. Like we have to find a way.
All right, we'll watch it actually right first. All right, for our legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli, and my wife, Shakira Hayek.
My wife.
My wife. I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. We're the Bro Force Squad podcast. Thank you so much for checking us out. Aww. Has she been there the whole time?
Yeah, she's been next to me the whole time.
Beep-boop-bee. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, at Bro4Squad. Type in bro4squad.com. You'll find all of our content there. And if you just type in Bro Force Squad as 3 separate words on the internet, we're on everything. Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. We'll check out there. Till next time, we have, 7 days till Christmas. Drink,